Hello, gang. Welcome in, one and all. It's the Matt Murphy Radio Show underway for another day and another week. Happy to have you with us on this Monday afternoon, March 9, 2026. Thank you for being around. Whatever time you're able to give, we're certainly appreciative of it. We have 4 full hours. That's, by my math, 240 minutes. I hope you're able to spend every single minute and every single moment with us. But whatever time, we're thankful for it. You can follow us on a lot of different platforms, and you can watch or listen to the show on a lot of different platforms. As a matter of fact, I would encourage you to look up on iHeart or Spotify or TuneIn our channel and take us wherever you go on those platforms. Really, any place that you can download music or news or information, you can find us. We also have our own app, which you can download by going to your app store of your choosing and typing in Supertalk 99.7 WTN and taking us wherever you want to go. And we appreciate you doing so. There's also the Talk Television side of things, obviously. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. That is back up, running, looking good, lag-free. Cross our fingers. We're going to add a few other elements to that performance coming up a little bit today. We're going to add some video back into the show, and we're looking forward to that as well. So if you're watching us, thank you. I appreciate you indulging us. I appreciate you indulging this ugliness, and I thank you for it. If you're listening on 99.7 FM, we thank you for that, or on any of the many other sources that I just mentioned. You can also follow the show at Matt Murphy Show is my handle. Jay Willie's got one over there too. I don't think Ken Weaver's on the X Machine, or at least he doesn't talk about it very much.
Yeah, I'm on there.
Are you on the X Machine, Ken?
Yeah, at Radio News Anchor.
Do I? Is that what you got? Radio News Anchor?
I did.
That's pretty good. Am I? Hold on a second. Let's just.
I think you're following me, Brother Murphy. I'm not sure.
Well, I sure hope I am. I mean, if I'm not, I feel like that's a failure of mine. Jackson, you're J Willie _61. Do I have that right?
Yes, fellas.
You're going to piss me off. I mean, I can already tell. You already have. That's one. And you're going to do it again. Now, I just need to talk to, by the way, hello, Jackson.
Hey.
I hope you're having a good day.
I lost my gravitas. I don't know where it went, but I lost it.
I feel like Jackson's back, Ken.
He is. Brother Jackson.
Brother Titan signed a whole bunch of players. I'm real
Oh,
distracted.
jeez. I don't think we can recreate the moment that we just had in the green room.
Because it wasn't FCC safe. It was on my end, though.
Ken, Jackson runs in. I go to see him before the show.
Right.
And he's I'm not making this up.
Yeah.
He's yammering with his sports buddies about signees and watching Ted on the YouTubes.
No, we were. We were
Or
showing
whatever.
Murphy a scene because we
He's like,
told him
you gotta see Ted. You gotta see Ted on the TV.
really funny.
And so, I mean, and I told Jackson, I said, Jackson, you got to learn something about me. If you know anything about me, if you want me to watch or do something, the last thing you want to say is you've got to ... because for some reason in my brain, that automatically means I'm not going to do it. And I don't know why that is, but it is true. So if you say, Murphy, you have to, and I'm thinking the only damn thing I've got to do is live my life and die. And I ain't got to do that. I'm going to want to do that, but I don't do it because you tell me I have to. Anyway.
So you've been.
But that's
so
an aside.
So would you rather me say you should?
Murphy, you would love so-and-so and such and such.
Okay, so I've been doing it wrong. Watch this, Ken Weaver.
Okay.
Murphy, you would really love shutting up for once.
What are we going to do for the next 3.5 hours? 3 hours.
Yeah,
and
we got to
40
get paid.
It's the Ken Weaver show.
48 minutes there, buddy.
Brother Murphy's got to try.
Radio news. Hold on, I still got to do this. Radio news. Everybody have a good weekend, by the way?
Have a good weekend.
Everybody, radio news anchor?
Yes, sir.
I can't.
All right, there's Brother Murphy. I see you. All right, I'm going to follow. Why am I not following Brother Murphy?
I don't know that I knew that you
I
were
thought
on there.
I was following him.
Radio news. Well, this is a big moment for us, Ken.
I'm following you now, Brother Murphy.
We should.
Because I from time to time, I run across whenever you're going back and forth with people, and it's very interesting.
That's a way to put it. If y'all think I'm an SOB on this radio show,
You need to see Brother Murphy on the X machine.
Just remember something, kids. Buzzed tweeting is drunk tweeting.
I don't even know if that's You're just giving
It's
people
not.
the business, boy.
It's really not. Why can't I find you on the Twitter? Radio news anchor.
Yeah.
Ken, did you block him?
I did not.
Oh, here he is.
At Radio News Anchor.
Oh, here he is. Oh, yeah. He's following me. I'm following you back, Ken.
There we go.
There we go.
Man, there's a lot of Matt Murphys, dude.
I know. Matt Guitar Murphy, and then there's this Matt Murphy out in L.A. He's like some sort of investigator. Oh no, he's a former DA. There's a Matt Murphy that's a politician somewhere out in Indiana.
Yeah.
There was a Matt Murphy that was a baseball player. I think there was a Matt Murphy that was a professional wrestler. That may or may not have been me.
What's your handle, Brother Jackson?
JWillie_61. I miss the gravitas, man.
Give it a go.
Gravitas. It ain't there.
It's not there, man. You've lost it.
You-
Which means I get to keep the Nick and Poops trophy since he no longer has his gravitas.
Nope, I get the trophy. I lose the gravitas.
So anyway, this fella, the executive producer of the Matt Murphy Show,
Yes.
the man, the power behind the throne, the man with the plan, the guy that's got it all put together on these daily broadcasts. I walk in at like 2:30 in the afternoon, and he's watching Ted, which if you don't know anything about Ted, I don't think I've seen the movie.
It's a foul-mouthed teddy bear. That's really what it is. Let's just...
I don't think it's Seth MacFarlane. I like Seth MacFarlane,
Yes.
but Seth MacFarlane didn't play the lead. Was that Wahlberg?
He played Ted.
Oh, he would. That makes sense. Yeah, so I guess he did. Yeah, he played the voice of Ted. He was Ted. Wahlberg was his buddy, right? He was
Yes.
the guy. And this is now a television show?
Prequel television show.
I feel like we have to explain this to people now. And you're into it.
Oh, it's so funny.
And you want me to be into it.
I just think you should give it an opportunity. I think
Should
you'd
I
like it.
watch the movie first?
You haven't seen the movie?
I don't think so.
Both movies are great. They're two of my favorite guilty pleasure films.
Is it just it's Seth MacFarlane just being free to make all of the jokes that they don't allow him to make on network television?
And he's doing it as a cuddly little teddy bear.
Which gives him,
Free reign to do some more things.
That's fair. Anyway, so he's dealing with, and he says to me, Ken, he goes, "Hey, Matt," he says, "the Tennessee Titans have spent $262 million today." And I said, "Jackson, I do not give a bleep." It's exactly what I said. I don't. And I want a good team.
Sure.
I want a quality product on the field, but I don't need to go. You know what I want, Ken?
What's
when
that?
I walk into Waffle House, I want some delicious, well, Waffle House is a bad example because you get to watch them. When I walk into Cracker Barrel, when I go get me some Jimmy Dean sausage and cook me up a delicious bait of Jimmy Dean sausage, do I need to go to the sausage factory and watch the sausage get made? Or do I just expect that when I pop it out of that tube, out of that case, and it's going to be delicious fried up in my pan?
This is so different.
I don't need to see the sausage being made.
This has probably been one of my favorite days on the football calendar since I was like 10.
Why?
It's fun. They can't disappoint you today. They aren't going to hurt you. They aren't going to hurt you March 10th.
I feel like that's a challenge that the Tennessee Titans should take. I mean,
Well, they didn't today.
So, but if they signed like nobody, would that not disappoint you?
Well, yeah.
Okay, well then they could.
Well, they didn't this time.
So they got a lot of players.
They got about 6.
Why don't you just go ahead and make this an official Action Jackson sports update so we can not talk about it again on the show? Can we do that? So we're going to do that while you're... Okay, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the Matt Murphy radio program is proud to present yet another edition of Action Jackson's Sports Update. This edition, the Tennessee Titans and free agency signings.
So,
Jackson,
for
now,
the-
you got to wait till I say Jackson. That's the whole bit. That's the whole hook. Is I go, Jackson, and then you start. So
Remember that suggestion I made a few minutes ago? All right. So today is the NFL's official. So the NFL league
Somebody
year.
needs to get him back his gravitas.
Yes.
So the NFL league year starts Wednesday. Monday, you can start agreeing to terms. Can't officially sign the paper until Wednesday. Titans got to work today. They got cornerbacks Alontae Taylor and Cordell Flott.
Maybe.
Alontae Taylor, a former Vol. Defensive lineman John Franklin Myers. Wide receiver Wandale Robinson.
Maybe.
Tight end Daniel Bellinger.
Maybe.
And quarterback Mitch Trubisky.
Oh, he played with the old, the Bears, right?
And he was a backup quarterback in Brian Daboll's system when he at the Bills.
Well, I'll be.
Well, how about that? So none of these are official.
Not official until Wednesday, but
All of this could fall apart.
no, I mean, it's very, very rare.
Okay.
But it does happen.
Occasionally.
Every once in a while,
Every 2 to 3 years.
which would disappoint you.
Greatly.
Okay. Well, we don't want you disappointed.
And one
Chance.
wouldn't, but
We wouldn't want you disappointed.
if the
Well,
tight end fell through, I really
well,
wouldn't.
look, I mean, I know I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm a Titans fan. I just I've never understood it. But I've never experienced. I guess this has been going on in my midst. I just did not notice it because Jackson has. I mean, this is the first year that you've been our executive producer that this has happened. But who I didn't know that this happened with NFL squads. I knew that it happened on signing day with college teams.
Yeah, it's like signing day for the NFL. It's awesome.
Where grown men really, really invest themselves in the 17-year-old boy market. In this case, at least it's grown men, salivating over other grown men. I just want a good product on the field.
Could be fun.
Could be fun. We're 17-0 today, right, Jackson?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I'm not going to steal your sunshine, buddy. You enjoy it over there. Have a good time with it. Make sure that the show's nice and perfect, because if it's not, all of it gets blamed on you because of your distractions.
What's the difference from any other day?
Well, that's a good point. Not a lot. Not a lot, because everything that goes wrong on this show is whose fault?
Ken's.
It's yours. It's your fault. It's not the kid's fault. All right, there's a lot going right and a lot going wrong. Did y'all hear about poor Butch Wilmore? He never got cranked up.
No, never got cranked up. Apparently, he'd been living in Texas while he was an astronaut and therefore not able to qualify as a candidate in Tennessee.
He does not meet the residency requirements
Right.
To run as a candidate in the state of Tennessee. Well, I mean, that's going to cause you some trouble.
Well, they can try again in a couple of years.
Well, you better watch out. That's Scott Golden and those bona fides, boy. Woo! Scott Golden's not playing as the head of the Republican Party here in the state of Tennessee.
He's getting after it.
He'll make sure that he checks out your bona fides.
Yeah.
Just ask poor Robbie Starbuck about all that.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate for him. I suppose that Butch. I just wonder who was the power behind this. So the story. I tell you what.
Brother Murphy's wanting to get down to it.
Well, I want to know what wise guy was behind all of this to begin with. I don't feel like Butch Wilmore took it on his own, right? I mean, he seems like a very nice guy.
Sure.
Seems like a common sense guy. This is nothing against him. I would love to have him on the show to talk with him about it. But someone said, "Boy, that Butch Wilmore would make a good candidate.
Sign him up.
Let's get him. Let's make this happen. Let's spend this $262 million. Is that the figure, Jackson? Do I have that right? $262 million.
About that.
In order for the joke to work, I need to get it about that.
It's going to be a little bit more. They haven't announced the deal for the quarterback yet.
So are we saying that Amy, what's her name, is going to spend all of this money? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good. I mean, I hope the coach convinces her that that's the right thing to do. Okay. Anyway, but there's some money person behind Butch Wilmore making this decision. You would have thought that prior to an announcement being made or something being leaked, that they would have made sure that he actually lived in the state of Tennessee. Although, let me tell you something, Ken. Sometimes it doesn't matter, because there has been a controversy in the state of Alabama, where I lived for the better part of 20 years, about Tommy Tuberville. For the last, they were screaming and yelling that he never lived in Alabama when he ran for U.S. Senate, because he apparently took his homestead exemption in Florida. Now, apparently he kept his house in Auburn after he was the Auburn coach, and that was kind of what they they finagled that to meet the residency requirement. But now he's running for governor, and people are screaming about it again. Boy, you don't even live here. Okay.
So don't the universities provide the coaches with housing?
I don't know if they do, boy. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice.
Old house.
That's a big old house. That's like a $3 million deal. I don't know. You know what? That's a good question, Ken.
I'm not sure.
I mean, I guess I would bet it's contract to contract. Don't you think?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, but I promise you this. When Nick Saban was the head coach of the University of Alabama,
Yes, sir.
if Nick wanted a house,
Oh, he got one.
he got himself a house.
Wherever he wanted it.
I bet old Venables, if he wants a house, he's going to get one.
Well,
He's in the playoffs this year. That's what the playoffs get you.
there were rumors that back in the 80s, Oklahoma built the players' houses.
Well, that's probably true. I mean, we could be honest with each other now, right?
Sure
I mean,
we can.
We don't have to lie about it anymore. They're shoving money in their shoes and in their lockers and in their helmets and everywhere it would fit. They cram a wad right up the old caboose if they let them.
Listen, we got to make sure this old boy over here has a job. What's it going to be? Give him $1,500 a month to turn the lights off.
Done.
They
Done.
said Oklahoma had a leg up because they could build those houses sooner.
I liked it better when you had the gravitas. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTF.
Gravitas.
Friends, I absolutely love the way that King & Associates Insurance does their business. They're local people, and I understand that you see a lot of these insurance commercials on national network TV, right? Football games, I mean, you can't get away from them. So those companies are selling you products for themselves. They're not going to shop around. They do not care if you have the best rates in town. They just want you to buy from them. At King & Associates Insurance, they do things a little differently, and it's important you understand this. They shop for you. They work for you. So they don't work for the big, whatever, and the companies I'm talking about. They work for you, and they can search dozens of top-rated carriers to find the best home and auto rates for you. No two families are the same. Your insurance should not be the same either. Because no two families are the same, maybe your premiums have crept up. Maybe it's you've added a teenage driver. Maybe you've dropped a teenage driver. Maybe it's time to stop overpaying. King & Associates can help you. I utilize them for my homeowner's insurance, utilize them for my auto insurance, and I saved money as a result. 615-321-8121. 321-8121. Tell them that I sent you to tkinginsurance.com. King & Associates Insurance, where smart money shops. Hey, friends, it's Matt Murphy, the uncontested leader when it comes to engagement rings and fine jewelry is Genesis Diamonds, the leader for almost 20 years. Genesis disrupted the old school jewelry stores by offering an incredible selection of hand-picked diamonds at ridiculously low prices, and they've been doing it year after year. They are voted the best jeweler in Nashville and the best place to buy an engagement ring as a result. Nobody else comes close. And these days, Genesis owners are as committed as ever to staying ahead. And even with the larger selection of GIA-certified diamonds that they have, the growing collection of exclusive designer rings, that's not enough. They also have the best selection of pre-owned Rolex watches in the Southeast. I would put them against anywhere in the United States of America. That's how good they are. Also, nobody's on commission at Genesis, and that's important to me. That means they are there to not upsell you on anything. They are there to sell you the thing that's within your budget that you're looking for. They're the total package. Genesis Diamonds, Green Hills and Cool Springs. Online at genesisdiamonds.com. Amazing store, incredible people. Go by and see them. Green Hills and Cool Springs.
President Trump rejecting Iran's new choice for supreme leader. I got that story and more at 3:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Well, you know what? I think that's an objection in progress. I'm not trying to get in front of Ken Weaver's newscast here, but we'll know when Trump officially objects. That's when Matt Murphy comes on the radio and says, he gone. Enjoy your virgins. Adios, amigos. Because it occurs to me that this is our method by which we initiate regime change. You pick a leader, and we'll let you know, depending on how long he lives, whether we approve or not. Now, Donald Trump has been gracious enough by telling the son of Khomeini that he doesn't like him very much either. So we'll find out where all of that goes. We will discuss where we are with regard to the war or the conflict, if you will, in Iran. Obviously, gasoline prices have gone up because the Strait of Hormuz has been disrupted. This was going to happen. It was always going to be a temporary issue in the world, and by extension, the American economy. So we're going to break that down for you real quick. I want to put a bow on this, and because I don't plan on talking about it at length. If you want to, 615-737-9986. Retired astronaut Barry Butch Wilmore, a Middle Tennessee native, will not run in the 2026 Republican primary for Tennessee governor. This from the Tennessee Star, because as Ken Weaver just noted, he fails to meet a constitutional requirement for candidates seeking office. He suspended his bid one day after telling reporters he planned to enter the race, ending what would have been his first campaign for public office. It's rather embarrassing that someone around him did not let him know this, but it is what it is. I mean, I don't know the guy. I don't have anything against him, but it's embarrassing. Whoever was backing him should have figured this out prior to this coming out in the way that it did. And you would be hard-pressed to have me believe that some money person wasn't behind this to begin with. Somebody that doesn't like Marsha very much or John very much. I saw John over the weekend.
Oh, yeah?
He gave me the business.
Gave you the business?
Yeah, he gave me the business.
Like in gave you the what for?
He kind of gave me the what for, Ken.
Interesting.
He did. I mean, it was all in good fun.
Oh, okay.
But I was getting the business from him. I'll tell you why John Rose gave me the business.
All right.
After Ken Weaver's newscast. That's called a Pro Tease on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. I can tell you we are tracking the potential for severe weather here in Middle Tennessee. Right now we do have some severe thunderstorms down around Savannah. down there around the Alabama state line in South Middle Tennessee. All that stuff is moving to the east, well south of Nashville. Operation Epic Fury update. President Trump rejecting Iran's new choice for Supreme Leader Muttaba Khamenei, the son of the slain Ayatollah. ABC's Matt Rivers is in Beirut, Lebanon, with more on the selection.
It's a message of continuity from the regime. They're looking at the different candidates they had, and they said, look, this is the son of the leader who was killed. It's paying honor to that, but also it's a message to the United States saying, look, we know you don't want this guy. We don't care. We're here to stay. We're going to continue this fight, and this is the man that they're using as a message, really, to say we're here to continue this struggle.
Meanwhile, 2 men arrested in New York City for allegedly throwing homemade explosives outside of the mayor's official residence over the weekend now face federal terrorism charges. During a news conference this afternoon, NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch described alleged statements the suspects made after their arrest.
En route to the NYPD precinct, Balat made spontaneous statements without being questioned by NYPD officers that were captured on body-worn camera footage. He said, "This isn't a religion that just stands when people talk about the blessed name of the prophet. We take action, we take action."
Federal magistrate ordering Amir Balat and Ibrahim Kayumi held without bail. Authorities say the men threw 2 devices during an anti-Islamic protest and counter-protest outside of the mayor's home. Right now in Middle Tennessee, News Channel 5 says a trove of internal NES emails it obtained is shedding light on what happened behind the scenes as the ice storm crippled Nashville. The CEO warned early on that conditions could be severe, but the messages show hesitation and confusion once outages spread. One board member repeatedly sounded alarms about the slow pace of repairs. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. That crash going westbound there at the Eastern Split has 40 backed up all the way beyond the Eastern Split. And then 24 going westbound, it's backed up all the way to Briley. We've also got a crash near the airport, 40 eastbound at Donaldson Pike, and then Talbot's Corner, a crash on-ramp partially blocked, 65 southbound from Trinity Lane. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for Better Water. And, you know, you're for better water, right? Are you for better water? Are we all not for better water? I would hope so. Well, let's get with the program and get with BetterWater.com to learn more. Better Water and Better Water LLC are the water filtration people, right? They're going to help with a whole house application or an under-the-sink application to remove sulfur and iron and chlorine and bacteria and E. coli, everything from your water. Now, I talk all about the home applications because they're coming out this Friday to my house to do a home application to the house. We're going to do some stuff at the tap to get me some good quality branch coming out of the tap for those cocktails that you might enjoy in the evenings or on the weekends, right? They offer a full range of water treatment from reverse osmosis, water softeners, specialized filters, UV lights, they name it. And I'm going with RO with my home. That was on the recommendation of Robert when he came out and tested the water. They treat water in the hospitals. They treat water in your coffee shops, and they can treat yours too. Go to BetterWater.com, or better yet, give them a call and tell them that I sent you. 615-355-6063, 355-6063 for Better Water LLC. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Matt Murphy. This is the Matt Murphy Radio Show. It is episode 993. What's going on? How y'all doing? How you doing? You doing all right? How you doing? There are several of you on the Super Text chat feature, or the, what do we call that? Yeah, the Super Text, that are telling me that you liked Jackson better when he had gravitas. I get it. I understand. I don't know what to do about it. I mean, I could punch him in the throat. I don't think that's going to help. They'd take me right away. They'd take me to jail if I did that.
I would press charges.
That's the only way that I know to get the deep register back. I'm kind of happy that it's gone because it creeped me out a little bit.
To get the gravitas. It's gone.
It is. It's gone. We need to have a little ceremony for it.
Well, we need to go back. I think it was Friday. Right before the news, right as I was about to start reading, he gave us a gravitas.
And Ken, I flipped the camera over, and Ken is bent over the news desk.
I couldn't do the news.
He knew what he was doing.
He knew exactly what he was doing.
He knew. I just received a gift, though, y'all. I'm going to tell you the John Rose story in a second. I just received a photographic gift from our good friend David Corlew. And you know how when you're having a Monday, a typical Monday, they call it a case of the Mondays.
Yes, sir.
And, I was having a case of the Mondays when I saw Jackson in there smiling and high-fiving because rich people were getting richer on our football team or whatever. It was just annoying. And I don't know how our good friend David Corlew from the Charlie Daniels Journey Home Project knew that I was having a case of the Mondays.
Yeah.
But he sent me a photographic gift from our good friend David Corlew. And I'm going to post this so everyone can see it on at Matt Murphy Show, my X machine handle, at Matt Murphy Show. Hey, Ken, you're following me now, so you'll be able to see it.
Yes, sir.
A photographic gift from our good friend David Corlew.
Okay.
The photograph is of Corlew, and he is sporting you've got to see the mustache is worth looking at the photo.
All righty.
He is looking sharp on from our perspective, right-hand side of that photograph. And then on the left-hand side of that photograph is the man himself, Charlie Daniels.
Awesome.
You seeing who's in the middle?
No, but I'm looking forward to it.
I just posted it. Matt Murphy posted it 9 seconds ago.
There you are.
Look who's in the middle.
Oh, my.
Oh, my. So I put that at early 90s.
Goodness.
Corlew says that's early 2000s. And she is looking...
Goodness.
Very, very lovely. That is America's princess herself, Dolly Parton, right there between Charlie and David.
David's got to keep that mustache.
Oh, well, he's
still got that mustache, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, he's still got the look. Oh, no, it's great. I've never seen anything like it. It's a solid mustache. Worth looking us up and seeing the picture on its own. But there's that.
Wow, look at Dolly.
Dolly's looking.
Goodness gracious.
Looking great. Looking great. Looking fit. Looking healthy. Looking great. And then there's this. So I was at an event. I was at the Cabaret Saturday night. Our good friend Joni Bryan was hosting their fundraiser for the 917 Society, 917.org. Go find out more about Washington's Walk. We encourage you to be a part of that with us later on in the spring. We're very excited about that. But I was over there Saturday night for this event and saw a lot of great friends. Saw Tim Burchett, who will be on with us at 4:05 this afternoon. He was the keynote speaker that evening. Saw a lot of other good friends and saw our good friend John Rose. Saw Chelsea, John's wife. And they were in attendance, and John and I were talking, and Ken, he gave me the business. He gave me the what for. John told me, he said, I'm counting. And I said, what? He said, I'm counting. And I'm paraphrasing him here, but this is basically what he said. He said, I'm counting every time I hear you say that I'm not going to win this governor's race. I'm counting, and I'm gonna hold you to it. You're going to have to hear me for any number. And I was like, let's go, baby. All right, I'm ready. Let's do it. So So John's listening, and John says that there's a game plan. I said, I'm ready to see it. Let's go. Rising tide lifts all boats. I'm ready to see a more competitive race. I just need to see it.
I like what he says. He wants debates, man.
He does.
He wants debates.
I think Marcia should debate him. I think she should. I don't think she's going to if she continues her 40-point margin. I mean, I understand that, but I dig my heels in on this subject. If you are interviewing for a job,
yeah,
and that job interview entails a debate, in my opinion, and if you are not willing to debate, then, you know, I'm not here to tell you that it's a disqualifier for most Tennesseans. I'm not even here to use the word disqualifier, but I hate it. I hate it. I don't know how we could require because this is not. Here's the bottom line.
Yes, sir.
If we're talking a general election, then I'm going to be more hard ass on this. But this is a Republican primary. I'm not even involved. I'm not a Republican. I don't claim to be a Republican. I'm a libertarian. So, and I vote Republican more often than not, and I will vote in the Republican primary if given the opportunity because it's an open primary. And if they close down the primaries, I would stop voting in the Republican primary because I'm not registering to be involved in any political party whatsoever, including the Libertarian Party, by the way, which is why I say I'm a libertarian with a small L. That to say, they get to set up their own rules about how they do things. And they could set up rules requiring debates.
Requiring?
Yes. They can set up any rules they want to. So if the Republicans really wanted to force the candidates to debate, they can force them to debate. Just the Republican committee get together and pass it as a bylaw that anyone running for public office, statewide or otherwise, in the state of Tennessee, if there is a game, they could set up parameters. That the candidate has to be of a certain margin of, percentage of the vote or whatever. Oh, no, they could do that if they wanted to. They don't want to, so they don't. And so this gives the candidates the options. Now, if you're advising Marsha Blackburn, right, let's say that young Kenneth Weaver is a campaign advisor to Marsha Blackburn, and you're sitting in a room full of campaign advisors, and y'all are 40 points ahead of your political rival. Who's going to be the one that raises their hand and says, I think we should debate? I mean, what benefit is debating to the candidate that's for? Now, the ultimate benefit to me is that you put the white-hot spotlight on that candidate and let's see what happens. But they don't want to take that risk, especially if they're 40 points ahead. So two things have to happen. Number one, the Republican Party itself has to insist, or the Democrat Party for that matter. It doesn't matter. But the party apparatus itself has to insist on debates, or the voters have to insist on debates. And the only way that you're going to convince, if Marsha says, and I like Marsha, I like John, I like all these people. That's not personal. But if Marsha says, well, we're just going to take a wait-and-see approach, yada, 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 y'all have to respond. Y'all have to let her campaign know that if you don't debate, we're not voting for you. We'll vote for John, or we'll vote for Monty, or we'll vote for someone else. And I promise you this, that if enough of you do that, she'll debate. I promise you this, that if enough people suggest that it is a non-starter for non-debaters, then Marsha will debate John. Marsha is not going to debate John Rose if she is 30 or 40 points up and she sees no negative to skipping a debate. Now, y'all don't want to hear that, but it is a reality. It's the truth. Now, John wants debates. You know why John wants debates so bad? And not because John likes debating. John's 40 points down. He's got to throw some haymakers. He's got to look, if I'm in a boxing match and we're 8 rounds in and I know that I've lost the first 7 rounds, I better get in there and start throwing some damn haymakers, because the only shot I've got at this point is to knock that guy out. Well, of course John wants a debate. He's 40 points down. And I don't blame him for wanting it. I don't blame anybody for any of this. I'm just explaining to you the political reality of all of it. The only thing that will, and I've been through this. I went through this in Alabama with Kay Ivey. Kay Ivey was an older, I'm going to be nice here, an older statesman. I wrote articles for an organization called 1819 News in Alabama. I wrote a little bit for AL.com, and they were a liberal rag, and they didn't like what I was writing, and so we dissolved that relationship. And then I wrote for a while for 1819 News. And the last article that I wrote for 1819 News was when Kay Ivey was running for her second full term as governor of that state. And my article was that Kay Ivey is Alabama's version of Joe Biden. And boy, oh boy, it was like a shot across the bow before I got the hell out of the state, because Republicans hated me saying the obvious. And that was that Kay did not make her own decisions. She did not make her own schedule. She was managed by a group of people. And Kay had passed the winter season of her public service. Well, involved in all of that was her refusal to debate her Republican rivals in the Republican primary. It was the same deal as Marsha is about to go through. Well, Kay, her campaign manager, would speak to me, and their point was, why should we? The people love us. They know where we are on the issues, and they don't seem to be that interested in it, Matt. You're interested in it, but the voters aren't. If the voters were interested in it, it would reflect it in the polls. So y'all can get as mad as you want to about it, but whether it's Monty or John, those political campaigns are never going to convince Marsha Blackburn to vote or to debate. The only thing that can convince her to debate is the voters. And she either has to hear from enough people about it, or there has to be a substantial shift in polling. And I guess that's a version of hearing from the people about it. That's just the way that it is. So, and I'm just here to tell you the way that it is. Robert wants to talk about helicopters. I don't know what that means, but we'll get into it. It's 51 after the hour. Your calls as well. Your Super Text 615-737-9986. It's the Matt Murphy Show on Super Talk. Hey, guys, it's Matt Murphy, and I'm very, very excited because tomorrow morning I am headed over to the Glock store where I'm going to get into force-on-force simulation training. Let me tell you about it, because you'll have the opportunity to do the same thing. I get to go in a little bit early, and I get to tell you all about it leading up to March 21st when they're opening up the force-on-force simulation exercise at the Glock store at their Shoot 270 indoor range, right? So, one, Shoot 270 indoor range. These are not lanes. These are rooms. These are ranges, one-on-one instruction, private rooms. I mean, it's just superior to lane shooting. And you'll know that. If you've ever used it, you'll know it. And if you use it on force, you'll know it too. Now, in force on force, you are thrust into a simulated situation where deadly force may be necessary to save your life or someone else's life. You're armed with a Glock 17T, which is the same type of Glock used to train SWAT, U.S. Special Forces. You test your reflexes and marksmanship, making split-second decisions in a realistic life-or-death live-action simulation. Now, for more information, you can go to shoot270.com, click on Training, and then Classes. That's shoot270.com, Training, Classes. I'm trying it out tomorrow morning. Wish me luck on that. I'll tell you all about it. Slots are going fast for the debut March 21st. Force-on-force training. Only at Shoot 270, only at the Glock store, glockstore.com.
The General Assembly sending the Landlord Firearm Act to the governor's desk. We'll tell you about that at 4 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We're just getting warmed up. It's like the first quarter of our marathon, but we're blowing through the finish line. Just like that American out in L.A. Y'all see that? I loved it. If you've not seen it, all right, so there's a couple of things to talk about with this L.A. Marathon. Number one, they were giving people medals to run 18 miles. Did you see that? They were doing it because they said that it was too hot. L.A., I mean, everybody gets a participation trophy, right? So, I mean, this started with the kids, and now it's grown, and now the kids are grown, and now they expect it too. So they said, well, it's really hot today, so we are. I'm not making this up. A marathon is 26.2 miles.
Yes.
That was, what is that? The distance between Marathon and Athens? I want to say that's right, but y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I know somebody out there knows better than I do, but it was the distance. I mean, Marathon was a city, and it was the distance between the two cities. Anyway, 26.2 miles. So that's always been a marathon. If you can't run a marathon, you can run a half marathon, and you can get a little award for running a half marathon. If you can't run a half marathon, you can run a 5K.
Or you can walk it.
But what you can't do is run 18 miles and get a badge that says you ran a marathon until this weekend, where the L.A. Marathon announced, look, if you're having a bad day, that's what they said, kid. If you're having a bad day, we've got an off-ramp for you, and it's a cut, and so you don't have to do the extra 8.2 miles. You run through this cut, and that'll get you to the finish line quicker, and that'll cut off 8.2 miles, and it's only 18 miles, and you will still get your certificate and your medal that shows that you finished the marathon.
And then a cookie and some Kool-Aid.
I mean, what are we even doing? But that was going to be my big marathon story until this other video popped up of this American. Let me tell you something. If you've not seen it, it does my heart proud. And I don't like, I feel the same way about running as my grandpa did. My grandpa always said this about joggers and runners. He said, I'll take it up when I see one of them smiling. He said, you don't ever see them smiling. They just look like they farted on themselves. Yeah, they got that look of, ugh. He said, when I see one of them run down the road smiling, he said, then I'll take it up.
Man, there's this one old boy jogs in my neighborhood, and whenever I see him, he is like his face is red. He is just breathing really hard. From what I understand, you're not supposed to breathe hard when you jog.
Really?
It's all supposed to be under control. This fella looks like he's about to kill over. And you just want to say, man, are you all right?
Brother, you need maybe we should just sit down. Take a breather. For a long time on the back before I got my new truck, on the back of my truck, I had a 0.0 sticker. Because that's how much I ran, 0.0. And I'm proud of it. All right, it's time for the news. It's late. We're late. Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. And right now in Tennessee, the Landlord Firearm Act is headed to Governor Lee's desk after final legislative approval. The measure prevents landlords from banning tenants from legally possessing or storing firearms in their homes or vehicles. Supporters say the bill strengthens Second Amendment protections for renters across the state. Opponents warn it could complicate safety policies for property owners. And as the U.S. and Israel continue their attacks on Iran, Israel is also launching attacks deeper into Lebanon's territory. The Israelis say they're targeting the Iranian proxy Hezbollah. ABC's Matt Rivers is in Beirut, Lebanon, with the latest.
700,000 people, it's estimated at this point, are internally displaced because of those evacuation orders as the Israeli campaign really just widens across the entire country. We continue to see airstrikes in the south, but that's something that's been going on for years now at this point. Where we are seeing more and intensified activity is where I am, in Beirut, on the other side of the mountains from where we are in the Bekaa Valley.
Now, it remains to be seen if two men arrested in New York City for allegedly throwing homemade explosives outside of the mayor's official residence over the weekend during an anti-Islamic protest and counter-protest have anything to do with the attacks on Iran. During a news conference this afternoon, NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch described alleged statements the suspects made after their arrest.
After waiving his rights, he requested paper and wrote a message declaring in part, "I pledge my allegiance to the Islamic State. Die in your rage, you kuffar." Now, "die in your rage" is a commonly known ISIS slogan, and kuffar is an Arabic term that refers to non-believers.
Big entertainment news today. Live Nation's antitrust settlement with the Department of Justice could ripple through Nashville's live entertainment market and those around the nation. The Tennessean says the company will sell off 13 amphitheaters and cap service fees at 15%, a move federal officials say will help bring prices down nationwide. Ticketmaster must also allow competitors to use its platform, potentially giving Middle Tennessee venues more freedom in choosing how they sell tickets. Still, Tennessee joins a long list of states refusing to sign on, arguing the settlement doesn't fully address Live Nation's monopoly power. That's the latest news. Weather is next, along with traffic. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. We've got 4 crashes on I-40 between downtown and the airport. We'll start at the downtown split. The left 3 lanes are blocked going westbound there at exit 211. Then one at Fessler's Lane going eastbound. Then another one going westbound at the eastern split there at exit 213A. and then an injury crash 40 eastbound at Donaldson Pike. They're right there at B&A. Talbot's Corner, a crash. The on-ramp partially blocked, 65 southbound from Trinity Lane. I'm Ken Weaver.
All right, friends, here we are. Here we go. Hour number 2, Matt Murphy Radio Show, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Pleased to have you with us on all different platforms. We're on the radio at 99.7 FM. We are on a variety of different apps. iHeart, Spotify, TuneIn. We have our own Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Carry us wherever you go with your smartphone device, etc. You can also find us on Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. Like, subscribe, give us the old thumbs up over there. We appreciate that. Follow us around. Do whatever you need to do. Comment. The YouTube chat is a crazy place. It's unfiltered and unmonitored, and I don't speak for it, but, I mean, it speaks for itself if you've ever watched it or seen it. Go over there at YouTube and say hello to the gang for us. We appreciate you listening. We appreciate you following, and we appreciate our next guest. I happened to see this gentleman Saturday night at the aforementioned event, the 917 Society event, which happened at the Cabaret. He was the keynote speaker. Congressman Tim Burchett joins us on the program to talk about everything going on around the United States of America and around the globe. Congressman, good to talk with you. How are you, sir?
It was great seeing you, brother. And you, like myself, have the perfect face for radio.
You said that correctly, my friend. No, you're good. I love it, man. I love listening to you speak. I love talking with you on the radio, and you had the room in the palm of your hand. It was a great evening for a great cause. Because let me tell you something, and I just want to reflect on this, and you kind of did this the night of. There are way too few of our youngsters these days that get their hands on the Constitution of the United States of America and fully understand how this country was formed, and that is our backbone. That it's everything right there in your hand. And so I appreciate what Joni Bryan's trying to do, get them in the hands of the young people.
I can't express my appreciation for her more. And they sold one of my skateboards for $5,200.
Wait a minute. The one that you haven't made yet? Is that the one?
Yeah, the one I haven't. I'm out here right now in my barn looking at the wood thinking, what am I going to make for that? It's worth $5,200. I guess I got to drip it and dip it in Democrat promises or something. I'm not sure.
Well, I love it. I'd say I didn't even know that this was a thing. Tell me about the skateboard thing.
Well, I make skateboards. I have insomnia, and I make them at night. Tulsi Gabbard asked me to make her one, and so I made her a special one out of banana fibers off the plant, bamboo, and some oak that I got from a oak pallet. And so everybody all over the country, now the world pretty much, says, make me a Burchett board. Well, I thought, I'm a capitalist. I'm going to look into this. So I took my chief of staff. She and I went down to talk to the ethics lawyers. And the lawyer says, well, if you do that, you got to do this. So what I got to do is I got to form an LLC, and I have to put it in my wife's name, and I have to be her employee, and I have to put my farm in the LLC, and it's just a convoluted. And so I said, let me get this straight. I can't sell skateboards as a congressman, but I can do insider trading of stocks. And the guy laughed and said, that's correct. You're exactly right. So anyway, so I make skateboards at night. I have insomnia, and I just make them, and people want them. We put them in these auctions, and somebody else bought another one. At the thing, they said if I make another one, they'll give them give the 917 folks
Another.
They'll give them $5,200.
Wow.
$5,200. I was like, dang.
Well,
anyway,
I'll tell you what. That's by my math. Let's see, 52. That's 10-4. You make a third one, and I'll just make that an even 11.
Okay. Let me think about that for a second. Actually, that's about, that's where I'm thinking about going with them. It's a little less than that even, but, it's crazy. No, I just,
That's good.
I'm very frustrated with what's going on in our country, and I don't like to drink, and I don't smoke pot, so there's really nothing else left for me to do but make skateboards from about 10 o'clock at night till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Well, look, I appreciate you getting away from the wood and getting over here and talking a little about D.C. I mean, it's a little depressing, too, what's going on in Washington. We can't even get the Department of Homeland Security funded because we got these knuckleheads in the Senate that are blocking full funding. What can we do? I mean, Tim, you've made no bones about the fact that if given the opportunity, you would love to serve in the United States Senate. You've enjoyed your time as a congressman. You've told me this many times that if the people want you there or if you're called over there, that you would do it. But that body, I mean, I think it's even more frustrating than the House of Representatives, considering how the Democrats blockade common sense reforms.
Yeah, I agree. I always say in Congress, that thing that just ran by you was a glacier, because that's where we're moving at less than glacier speed. I think it's going to take somebody that will just get over there and embarrass leadership. It's not afraid to do it, and I'm not afraid. I've done it in the House. Why would I be afraid to do it in the Senate? And I think people are kind of expecting that now. They're expecting somebody to step up and just say, enough is enough. We're not doing anything, and call out your own leadership if you have to, because as I tell the young members who are older than I am, usually when they come to Congress, I say, you don't work for one person up here. All your people are back home, and do not forget that. And I think that kind of falls on deaf ears occasionally, but it's the truth. We don't work for the K Street lobbyists. We don't work for Code Pink or any of those radicals. And we don't work for the media. We work for the people back in our district. And that's not a campaign thing. That's the reality. Look at the legislation I filed and the fights I've been in, and you'll get it. And I know you do, but I'm incredibly frustrated, brother, with just the lack of anything that we're doing.
Well, Tim, what should the Senate Majority Leader be doing? Let's just put it down there where the goats can graze on it. If you were in the Senate, what would you be advising John Thune to do differently to get the SAVE Act passed, to get DHS funded? What do we need to do?
Nuke the filibuster. We know it. When the Democrats take back over, if they do, they're going to nuke it, and there we go. We'll have unlimited Supreme Court justices, 52 states, and we'll be like the Jewish folks running around the wilderness for 40 years if we're lucky enough to get it back in 40 years, and we'll lose our republic. And I would encourage him to do just that, to start moving in that direction. And I would confront him, because I think it's that important. Somebody has to be to the point of disruptive at this point in a usually very civilized body, because we could lose our country. There's no kidding aside. This hatred of Trump and hatred of our country by our own so-called Republican Party is very evident to me, and I think people realize it.
Congressman Tim Burchett is with us this afternoon on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Congressman, do you believe that we will see the SAVE Act passed before the November midterm elections?
I heard my friend Senator Kennedy thought it was going to come up soon. I hope so. I have no way of knowing what they'll do. I would just have to think that enough Americans have seen what's going on. And then when Hakeem Jeffrey says he doesn't want the immigration folks at our polls, and he said, and I'm doubling down on that, I want to make sure you understand that is non-negotiable. Now, it's so obvious to me. The reason they're doing that is because they know they're going to try to steal another election. And I know the eggheads will say, oh, Burchett, it's less than 3% or some small number of fraud they think goes on in this country. Well, I tell you, I was told at one time by some people that were very close to it, a Democrat actually, that if we controlled one postmaster in a certain area in Chicago or in Illinois, that they could throw a presidential election. And I think you better start waking up, because what's acceptable to conservatives. 3%, 5%, 10% fraud, nothing. It's zero. Americans have shed precious blood. My own family has. My uncle lost his life. He's from Cheatham County and fighting in the Second World War to defend what we've got over here. And anytime we let somebody steal one dadgum vote, we are literally spitting on the graves of the men and women who have fought and died for this country.
You've been canvassing the state of Tennessee. You've done a lot of that with Senator Blackburn. I think you guys were over in Shelby County at some point over the last several days. What is? I mean, and we have her on the show from time to time. What is she saying to you about what's going on in the Senate? You talk about Senate leadership. I mean, she has to have the ear of some of those in leadership. Is she frustrated too?
Oh, completely. And better yet, she has the ear of our president. Some people talk about a relationship with President Trump, but I guarantee you President Trump has her on speed dial. He gets her, and that's why I think she will be very effective, because a lot of the things that are going on now, you know, what does the governor do? Doesn't know how Washington operates. You hire a consultant. You hire a lobbyist. We don't need a lobbyist. You know, we're going to have one. We're going to have somebody who gets Washington with her, and I think she gets it, and I think she's frustrated like the rest of us.
Where are you on the Iranian conflict? I don't know that we've spoken about it since everything broke out. I mean, I trust my president, but I also, you know, in my lifetime, these things don't end well very often. But I'm going to trust him until he proves me otherwise. That's where I'm on it. Where are you, Tim?
I agree with what you're saying. I spoke with, I'll just say, the White House this morning. I won't name names or a name, but I spoke with the White House this morning, and I expressed my concern about American troops being on the ground there. And I think they get that. I think the president, though, when he talks about that, he's just letting them know, you know, we blasted y'all. We've done, 20,000 bombs on you, and we're planning 300,000 probably total. This thing ain't nowhere near over, but it could be over tomorrow if you want it to be. And they're just going to have to be willing to do it. And that's what I believe the president believes as well. I believe he thinks we can handle it without that, but he puts that out there because, you know, you can't show your cards and you can't look weak. And also, I've also said I would, you know, my plan, if I was in this negotiations, I would contact one of the generals who we think could be a moderate, more or less, and say, hey, you want to run this country? Mm-hmm. We're going to let you do it. You take it over right now. And then if they decide, if they don't want to play ball or backstab us, then you let them leak it. That's who you've been negotiating with, and they'll be eliminated pretty quick. So I think that's the play right now. If I was a CIA operator or somebody over there that could get this working.
You and I have not spoken publicly since your vote to reveal some of the names and some of those involved in this sexual misconduct fund. Can you explain to somebody from, you know, planet Pluto or whatever? Oh, well, it's not a planet anymore, but you know what I'm saying. Can you explain to someone what is this fund? And why does it exist, and why are so many people protective of it?
It's $17 million of hush money that's been paid out to staffers on the Hill who have been sexually harassed by a member of Congress or the Senate. And that's all it is. And I just want the records, and I want to know who's been paid out. I don't necessarily need to know who's been paid out. I think we need to keep their names safe. Because they've been victimized, but I think we need to know which congressmen have done it, because that's very important. And what they've done is they sent it to, you have the idealistic members of Congress who I believe are honest in this. They said, let's send it to the Ethics Committee, which is a 5-5 committee, and the chairman's a good friend of mine. He and I both came to Congress. He's out of Mississippi. He's a very nice guy, very ethical man, good Christian man, family man, but the problem we got there is we're going into what's called the blackout period, where we're getting close to an election, and so they can't have hearings during that time because of afraid of political interference or something. So we could really be delaying this thing for 6 months or so. And you know as well as I do, as I've said many times, we want our pizzas in 30 minutes or less, and that's about our dadgum attention span. So I'm just afraid we've kicked the can. All I wanted to do was open the records. Let's see which congressman. And I guarantee you there are people in both parties that have been very, very bad. One quick story. I know we're limited. I was walking down the hall the day after the vote, and this nice young lady who I didn't really recognize her, but just a kind, you could just tell by looking at her, she was a kind soul. And she said very, very gently, she said, "Congressman Burchett?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am." And I stepped over to the left to talk to her. I said, "Yes, ma'am." And I leaned down because she was talking real soft, and she said, "Thank you so much for your vote yesterday." And I looked into her eyes, and I said, "Well, what?" It kind of caught me off guard because you move on after you make these votes. And she said, "The one the records of harassment." And I thought to myself, that poor girl has been through the ringer by somebody, by some dirtbag on the Hill. And, here we are a month or right after a guy says he's not, or now he says he's not going to leave. I mean, he says he's going to resign or whatever, or not run for re-election. He was in an affair, and he harassed this poor woman. She ended up pouring gasoline on herself and burning herself to death. I mean, I can't think of anything more horrific to do in your own yard down in Texas.
Right.
And that's the kind of thing we're protecting right now. And to me, it turns my stomach.
Final thought on this, because we are late, but I want to follow up. And I'm not asking you to name any particular people. I wouldn't do that to you because I know many of these are your friends. But you and Congressman Ogles were the only Tennessee congresspeople to vote in favor of getting this release happening. Were you disappointed? Were you disappointed in your fellow Tennesseans that they voted the way they did?
I'm constantly disappointed in Congress, but this was one of my saying, and it's true. The biggest surprise I got when I got to Congress was I wasn't surprised. And honestly, you got some that are idealistic that really think that sending it to ethics is the way to go. But I just say, let it go. Get it out there. Any delay looks like sends a bad message to America. And right now they hate our guts for great reason. Well,
Congressman, you're one of the good ones. We love it when you're on the show. I love how forthright you are and how straightforward you are. And I look forward to my skateboard. Just you bring it over when you're done with it, okay?
You get in line, brother. I'm over 30. There's a list of over 30 people right now. I've got a meeting Wednesday with my attorney to explain that we're going to set this thing up Wednesday so I can start maybe working for my wife and selling them.
Well, here's the key is that I'm going to start bad-mouthing you, which will guarantee I'll go to the front of the line because you should know, Burchett, you've seen me. If I ever get on one of those skateboards, I'm breaking a hip and I'm out of commission.
Well, I was up in Union County and one sold for I think $600 or $800. I can't remember. It was crazy. And I asked the guy, I said, I hope your deductible's less than the price you just paid for that dadgum skateboard because you're going to need that deductible, brother. Tim, the old man that bought that thing. I mean, I'm 61, I ride, but he was older than me.
You could just sit down on them, just ride them sitting. I mean, however you can get around on them, you get around on them. Tim,
I guess just put a refrigerator on them so when you're moving your refrigerator in the house. That's about all those old folks need to be doing on them things.
Burchett, you know how much we appreciate you. Thank you for being on with us.
Love you guys, and I appreciate you, brother. Pray for our country.
Yes, sir. And good seeing you over the weekend. There's Congressman Tim Burchett back in a moment. Spring is here. I don't care what the calendar says. Y'all know it's springtime. Hot outside, 80 degrees and whatnot, getting hotter. I mean, we'll have a little cool snap over the course of the week. I think there's some nasty weather coming through that's going to bring like a day of coolness, and then it's back hot again. I mean, I don't think we're getting that cold snap. I don't think it's not going to happen. And the bottom line is this. With spring comes spring allergies, and if you're experiencing spring allergies, it's time to get to Grace Point Healthcare because they are the place to help you with those allergies. All right, folks, if you need a personal spring tune-up, Don't suffer another year in misery. Get to Grace Point Healthcare. They're modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way. You've heard me talk about them. Get complete testing and treatment so you can enjoy everything the season has to offer. And if you are a new customer, know this. Direct pay means that if you set up a Smart Care plan, $99 a month with Grace Point Healthcare, $79 for your kids, you can pay that out of your HSA thanks to the big, beautiful bill. Your health savings account will cover that on a monthly basis, and you get unlimited office visits and free basic labs and diagnostics. And then you can get to work on some of these allergy issues. Plus, new patients for the month of March get a free B12 shot. Just ask about the B12 injection or mention my name when you walk through the doors. Friends, you need to make the call that so many others have made to Grace Point Healthcare, 599-6868, 599-6868. Modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way in Franklin.
Full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. And right now in Tennessee, a new bill protecting tenants' firearm rights is officially on the way to the governor. The so-called Landlord Firearm Act says landlords cannot keep tenants from storing or having firearms in their homes and vehicles. Lawmakers backing the bill argue it levels the playing field for renters who want to keep firearms for personal safety. Critics say it limits landlords' ability to manage risk on their properties. Operation Epic Fury update. Stocks tumbled in early trading today as oil prices soared above $100 per barrel in response to the U.S. and Israeli attacks on Iran. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze covers the economy for us.
When you're looking at this sell-off, it is stocks like airline stocks that are getting hit. Some of those transportation logistics companies, these are companies that are going to be paying more for fuel, like jet fuel already up. Some of those companies, airlines, already warning about that. As they are paying those higher costs, there is a very real risk that they pass down those higher costs to consumers.
Now, here in Middle Tennessee, Gas Buddy says the average pump price is at $3.21 a gallon. That's up 56 cents since last month's average of $2.65. And 2 men arrested in New York City for allegedly throwing homemade explosives during an anti-Islamic protest and counter-protest outside the mayor's home face federal terrorism charges. Aaron Katersky tells us.
It's not clear that the war in Iran had anything to do with these 2 teenagers from Bucks County coming into New York City on Saturday and allegedly hurling these improvised explosives. In fact, the target appeared to have been an anti-Muslim protest that was being staged by someone who had taken part in the January 6th riot at the Capitol. But it is still nonetheless worrying to counterterrorism officials that 2 teenagers from Bucks County can drive into Manhattan and go, as the FBI said, to the mayor's backyard.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, still got crashes getting in the way on I-40, the downtown split. You've got the left 3 lanes blocked. They're going westbound at exit 211. Then the eastern split westbound at 213AB. Then 40 eastbound at Fessler's Lane and 40 eastbound at Donaldson Pike. Another crash, right shoulder block, 65 southbound before Trinity Lane. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, gang. It's Matt Murphy, and I want to talk with you for a moment about your waistline. I know this is a personal subject, but you've heard me talking about Contours in the past, and you know that Keith, Stephanie, and the rest of the team at Contours LLC can assist you in those trouble spots that you've had a difficult time losing the weight. I mean, where are those trouble spots? Maybe in I call them your haunches. You know what I'm talking about, those little love handles over there, your little haunches, handles there. Or maybe it's your belly, or maybe it's your thighs, wherever it might be. They can help at Contours LLC, right? Red light therapy. This stuff works. I did it myself. Could not believe it. So I heard the messaging, and I believe Dan Mandis. I believe Chad Benson when they say, this is going to work. But I had to see it for myself. And so I called Keith. We scheduled an appointment. This red light therapy is incredible. On my midsection, first day, 2.67 inches. That's right, across the midsection. They guarantee you'll lose 2 inches across your midsection on the first treatment, or your first treatment is free. And oh, by the way, the first treatment is just $99 because they want you to experience the joy of Contours. Contours LLC. This is the ultra slim body contouring that guarantees that you'll lose 2 inches, so the first treatment is free. Call them today. Tell them that I sent you to Contours, 615-236-9960, 236-9960, or online at contoursllc.com. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Some nasty weather coming our way, at least to the south of us. And, we've got this big event. By the way, just to kind of signpost and let you know, there are a lot of people that have signed up for this big event Wednesday evening at the Municipal Auditorium, the Musicians Hall of Fame. That is the one where you'll hear from Mayor Glenn Jacobs. He will be one of the speakers. Congressman Matt Van Epps. Laura Trump will be there. And I think over 1,000 of our best buddies will be there as well. I think they have over 1,000 signups so far. The event is free, but you have to sign up, and at some point they'll have to cut it off. Now, I understand some nasty weather's moving through, but we'll weather the storm, as it were, and we'll have a great time. It is a fabulous event. You hear me talking about it throughout the day on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm not allowed to tell you what my role is in this event, but it's going to be pretty solid. I'm very, very excited about it. And I wish you would be there. I will necessarily have to leave the show early that night. And this coming Wednesday, Cameron Smith will take over for me at 5. I've got to get down to the auditorium to do, sound check and all that stuff. I think doors open at 5 and the show starts at 6. So be there if you can. Is Weaver back there? I can't see him.
I'm here, Brother Murphy.
Ken, what do we know about the weather coming up? Because we got some rain and such now.
Yes, sir.
And then it'll taper off. But then Wednesday, there might be some storms with a bit of severity to them.
Brother Murphy, we are a level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather on Wednesday afternoon and evening. Short-lived and or not widespread, isolated, intense storms possible, which, as you know, means we cannot rule out tornadoes.
Yeah, that's no good. Well, look, I can think of no safer place than the Municipal Auditorium in downtown Nashville.
It'd be pretty safe there, probably.
I think you would be. And we'll have the what is our time? Do we have a time frame right now, or are we kind of waiting to zone in on that?
Just says right now, afternoon and evening.
Okay, so we obviously closer to it'll give us a better sense of what the time frame will be. But y'all be safe out there. Nasty weather moving through later on in the week, and then there's like one day of cool down conditions, and then Ken, I think we're done with the cold.
Don't say it.
I think we are. I mean, I think we're done. Like this storm that's coming through on Wednesday is a cold weather maker, and it's only going to be down to 60 Thursday, and then it's back up to 80 degrees Friday.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful, but we're still in winter.
I hope winter comes back with some gravitas and it snows.
It's just not. It's just,
yeah, it's not
you know what? We're just going to have to
retire that till next year when I get.
Until there's some other throat or chest cold or whatever it was, we're just going to have to. We can remember it as it was. I mean, maybe you can go back on the skimmer and pull up. I like Ken's idea. That you gave a really, really good one right before his news last week.
Yeah, it's right before the 5 o'clock cast.
And so maybe we can all reminisce together the way things.
There's nothing gravitas about winter, Brother Jackson.
Memories in the corner of my mind. Misty, watercolored memories of the gravitas that were. It doesn't. I can't even remember what we're talking about, Jackson.
Oh, you were talking about the weather for the event at the Municipal Auditorium.
That's right. If anybody, I'll tell you what, if y'all privately guess what I'm doing, I'll tell you if you're right or you're wrong. I say privately, Jackson. I think you know. You're not allowed to guess. You know. That's right, Jackson. I'm dressing up as John Hancock. You know what that entails? Powdered wig. You would look really good in one of those outfits, now that I think about it. Wouldn't he, Ken?
Yeah, yes.
Long tails,
Jackson.
the little short breeches with the stockings. Some of those shoes that, I mean, we would refer to those shoes nowadays as, kind of sissified. I mean, that's, with the buckles on them. You know what I'm saying.
Shoes. That's what I called them back when I was a kid. Church shoes. I didn't like wearing church shoes.
No, I can't stand wearing church shoes either. But yeah, there you go.
They hurt.
They pinch the pinky toes, Ken.
Yes, sir.
Can't wait to get them off. I've got to sneeze, y'all.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get on my allergy medicine, dude. It is hitting me hard already.
Yes. Yeah, it's going to be. If we don't get another cold snap, it will be bad. But I don't think we're getting another cold snap.
I hope not.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you,
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Yeah.
I was going to ask you before Jackson rudely interrupted us with his gravitas. How hot is too hot for Ken Weaver?
Too hot for Ken Weaver is not having air conditioning to cool off in.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, I can handle any type of heat. I can be out in it as long as I've got water to drink and that sort of thing. But now I don't like sleeping in real hot weather.
I don't either, man.
But I despise cold weather so much that I will. I'll handle any type of heat and humidity. I'll celebrate it.
You did your time.
I did my time,
years of time in Boise, Idaho.
I ain't ever doing it again. I'm never living north of I-40 ever again. I can't believe I work north of I-40. Well, no, wait a minute. I'm still south of I-40. Yeah, we're south of I-40.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Well,
I'm perfect.
Are we?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
we're right south of it.
I guess technically, yeah, we are. Well, boy, you're close.
We're right on it.
Oh, boy. We move these palatial studios here in a couple of years. You might have to change your tune. You never know. We might be in Goodlettsville for all I know.
Well, if we have another January like we had, it's going to have to be south of I-10.
Dang, that's getting down there.
Y'all will just have to let me work remote.
I like it all. I'm such a free agent when it comes to the weather. I don't understand people, and I know that most do, but when people talk about, what's your favorite season? I heard someone doing this the other day, and I forget what I was watching. Oh, it was a movie that I went to that she was in. We didn't see her. It was that Can't You Imagine or If You Can Imagine. Anyway.
Yeah.
And they asked the question, what's your favorite season?
Oh, okay.
Like, what is your favorite season, Ken?
My favorite season...
Well, we know it's not winter.
I guess my favorite season is fall. I love fall.
Yeah, fall's good. You got football.
But you know what, man? I've got to say, I've really got to, football, definitely. But I don't know, dude. I really do have to go summer. Summer is my favorite.
Summer's cool. You got pool, you got the lake, you got, the water, you got all of that going on.
Even though I shouldn't, I can run around without a shirt on.
But what about spring? I mean, when spring starts getting on you and, the rebirth of spring.
Oh, I love that too.
It's so nice. And then, the dead of winter with all the leaves off the trees and it's a nice, cold, blustery day and you're all bundled up. No?
No.
See, I like it all.
If I was retired and all I had to do was, put on my smoking jacket and get me a big old hot cup of coffee and look out at my property with the beautiful snowflakes falling on it, you betcha. Give me winter all day.
Crackling fire in the background.
But no, getting out and about in it, having to get out in it, I'm just not about it.
I love it all. One way or the other, I think spring has officially sprung. I know
definitely, dude.
I know it's not like official. I think the calendar says it's March 21st.
Yeah, it is.
But I learned a new thing, though. We're already in meteorological spring.
Well, man, look at the trees. I mean, trees are already blooming. That's what's messing my sinuses up.
Popping, baby. I got a yard guy coming Wednesday morning.
Take care of them trees?
Well, to give me an estimate on, because I don't have the big, look, I've spent all my money. I've got no more money. I've spent all my money.
Yeah.
I did a fence. I did a house. I did a new heating and air conditioning unit.
Oh, yeah.
All of my money's gone, so I can't buy what I need to take care of the property just yet, which is a zero-turn large mower. So I'm going to have it done. I'm going to have the big stuff done in the back 40.
There you go.
For the first season.
Yes, sir.
And I got a guy. His name's Justin. He's coming out to the house Wednesday.
So he got a big old brush hog?
Oh, man, he does. He does. Oh, no, he's going to have me taken care of. Well, So I know that it's official. That spring has got to be, because I see it happening in the backyard. It's it just like that.
I think there was some pollen. I think there was pollen on my windshield Friday morning, or maybe it was Saturday morning. I can't remember, but it looked like there was pollen on the windshields in my neighborhood. And that means it's time to go get the medicine.
Yeah, time to go get the whatever you need to get. I Can Only Imagine is the name of that film. Actually, I Can Only Imagine 2 was the name of the film. Oh, my good friend Henry says it's always warm on Washington Avenue. So I don't know what that means, but
I don't either. Is that like a scary movie or something?
I don't know. Oh, by the way, if you want to live next to a famous person, let me know, because there's a house coming up pretty soon right next to me.
Who's the famous person?
They live across the street from me. See, I knew it. See, that's the only way I can get Jackson off this Tennessee Titans website, where he's waiting on the next free agent signing to drop.
I mean, he's in it deep, boy.
Deep.
He's off in the weeds on this.
Are we done for the day?
Maybe.
Not this radio show. Are the Titans done for the day?
Are the Titans done, brother Jackson?
He said wait. So I'm waiting.
Oh.
We're waiting for them to be done. They don't. I don't know if they're done yet.
Can I continue now, Jackson?
You said we were done.
No, I'm saying, are they done? Jackson, go back to doing whatever it was you were doing. That is clearly not executive producing this radio show. I'm going to talk. I would rather talk to Mike in Old Hickory than you right now, Jackson. Hello, Mike in Old Hickory.
Thank you. You know what? You guys have made me a fortune. You know why?
How's that, Mike?
Well, you bet against Trump. I bet for Trump. And what's been going on for the last 2 weeks, I said, you know what? Oil prices are going to go through the roof, because Matt Murphy says we cannot go into Iran. It's a bad thing to do. And Matt Murphy is now a little L. He's not a libertarian. He's a little L. And he's not a Republican or a Democrat. So I bet on that. And then guess what? We go to war with Iran. And then you and your show are just so against Trump. I said, you know what? These people that are against Trump, they don't even know what's going to happen to them. So I put my money in, and guess what? The Khomeinis are gone. Iran is gone. Oil went to $130 a barrel, like you predicted, Matt. And guess what? It's now crashing back down because Donald Trump is doing what he said he was going to do. And you know what? I made a fortune on it. Thank you, Matt.
What?
Matt.
What?
Get up.
What?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, Matt. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Mike.
You are a little L.
You're welcome.
You say you are a little L.
You're welcome.
A little libertarian.
No, I was saying you're welcome to your thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome.
And guess what, Matt? Stop lying to people. All you have to do is just look at the facts.
Mike, because of this kind telephone call that you've initiated, I want to congratulate you with a gift.
Made a fortune on you, man.
Mike, I want to offer you a gift. May I?
Yeah, well, go. You can't give me enough gifts other than your total program and the Democrat Party that just hates Trump. And you know what? If you bet against Trump, you're going to lose. So go ahead.
Okay.
Give it to me.
Okay. What, Mike, if you and I sat down and had a cigar and had a,
I don't sit down. I don't sit down with Satan's devil.
You don't sit down with Satan's devil? What is that?
That's it. Satan puts out devils.
Oh, am I one?
You are. One.
Oh.
Because you hate people, you hate this country. You say you come up from Alabama, and you're going to straighten us all out.
I'm originally from Thompson, Thomson, no P in Thompson.
Voting, you're going to fix the voting of Marsha Blackburn.
I can't say the same for your underpants, but
By
there's
the way,
no P
by
in
the way,
Thompson.
Matt, how thick are your knee pads?
How thick?
Yeah. You seem to just, every time you talk to a Tennessee representative, you get on your knees.
Oh, what am I doing on my knees, Mike?
Well, I don't know, because we don't know what you are, because you say you're not a Republican.
You're the one. You're
a Democrat.
You're the one.
You're not independent.
You're the one.
And now you're saying you're a liberal.
You're the one that.
Liberal,
no, I'm not.
Liberal.
You're the one that. You're the one that brought it up, Mike. I'm just curious what you are alluding to. Why do I have knee pads in your fantasy?
Well, because every time you go back to your programs, every politician that you talk to
Mike,
in this state,
when you fantasize about me, I have knee pads on. I want to know what I'm doing in those knee pads, Mike. And what are you doing while you're fantasizing about me?
Matt?
What?
Are you wearing your knee pads?
Mike's having fantasies about me. I was just trying to figure out what kind of alcohol he drank because I was going to buy him some. It's 55 after the hour on Super Talk. Somebody in the Super Text line said Satan's Devils sounds like a really good name for a motorcycle gang. It's not bad. Hey, folks, it's Matt Murphy for Cover Dash. Shane Ring and Cover Dash, they are great at what they do. You know, I love a company that sits down with you, that helps you understand the complexity of the business that they're in, and then goes to work for you to make sure that you are paying less money for the same quality services, or in this case, the same quality coverage from a health insurance company that you deserve. That's what it's all about with Shane Ring and Cover Dash. He has made his reputation on shopping through the industry, helping you understand exactly what he's doing, and then finding the best rates available for you and the best coverage available for you. And he can save you money. It takes that level of knowledge and expertise to do it. It also takes a personal level of concierge service to do it, and that's what they provide with Shane Ring and Cover Dash. It's the reason that I recommend Shane Ring. Now, don't be fooled by these concepts that you are locked into your health insurance for the rest of the year. Don't be fooled by this. Make the call today with Shane Ring and Cover Dash. Real health coverage on your terms, not the government. 615-465-0023, 465-0023, or coverdash.com.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. And right now in Tennessee, the General Assembly has advanced the Landlord Firearm Act to the governor for final consideration. This bill prohibits landlords from blocking tenants or their guests from lawfully carrying or storing firearms on leased property. Proponents say the move defends individual rights and ensures consistency across rental agreements. Detractors contend it may create conflicts with existing property management policies. News Channel 5 says newly released NES emails it obtained are fueling criticism of the utility's response to January's massive ice storm. The records show top leadership debating whether to call in more help as power outages spiraled past 230,000 customers. They also reveal the CEO asking how to quickly execute an emergency contract days into the crisis. And the General Assembly will debate a bill filed today that requires all city-owned electric utilities to give customers living in counties outside municipal boundaries to have a voting seat in the utility's governing board for the county they serve. NES serves customers in Davidson County and 6 surrounding counties, but its board is currently appointed only by the Nashville mayor. The bill would require a voting board member from each outside county to improve representation and accountability. 10 days into the U.S. war with Iran, and oil and gas prices are soaring. This is the first time there's been such a jump since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022. But while speaking in Doral, Florida today, Mr. Trump downplayed the increases, implying this impact from the war would be a temporary inconvenience.
Doing really well. I mean, at a level that nobody thought. We took a little excursion because we felt we had to do that to get rid of some evil. And I think you'll see it's going to be a short-term excursion.
Currently, about 20 million barrels of oil are being prevented from passing through the Strait of Hormuz every day. Operation Epic Fury, the Pentagon identifying the 7th American service member killed since the U.S. and Israel started attacking Iran. 26-year-old Sergeant Benjamin Pennington of Glendale, Kentucky, was injured in an enemy attack, an Iranian attack on an air base in Saudi Arabia, and died from his wounds. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Complete stop-and-go traffic northbound 65 because of a crash right there before I-440. We got a stalled vehicle on the right lane. That is 40 westbound past Charlotte Avenue. crash over there by the zoo. That looks to be right there, Nolensville Pike at Zoo Road. Then in Donaldson, we got a crash. Off-ramp partially blocked. Briley Parkway southbound off-ramp to Elm Hill Pike. Still looking like a crash here, downtown split. 40 westbound at exit 211. Then we got 40 eastbound at Fessler's Lane. I'm Ken Weaver.
All right, a couple of things. It's 8 minutes after 5 o'clock. That's not one of the things, but I did want to tell you that. My name is Matt Murphy. That's also not one of the things. This is the Matt Murphy Radio Show. Thank you for being around. We're going to jump right into the news because several of you have told me on the Super Text line that we have had far too many shenanigans going on this Monday edition. Far too much shenanigans and chicanery for the taste of some of our loyal listeners, and so we'll get right to it after I clean up a couple of things. Number one.
What was that second word?
Chicanery. Chicanery and shenanigans. Shenanigans and chicanery. You know, I don't even know that I don't know that I could offer you a I always felt like chicanery was synonymous with shenanigans.
It sounds like you're getting fired.
How do I spell chicanery? Chicane.
I bet you it's with the CH.
Yeah, I went with the CH, Ken, but I don't know what to do next. CHE?
CHI.
CHI.
Yeah, try chicanery.
Oh, here we go. Chicanery refers to the use of artful deception, subterfuge, or trickery to achieve a goal. Yeah, shenanigans. Chicanery.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, same deal. Often to gain a financial or political advantage. So, you know what? Frankly, we might continue to engage. We'll cut out the shenanigans, but we're going to continue with the chicanery. How about that? Is that fair? Fair. One way or the other, I do have this alert. My wife has this message to you, Ken.
Yes, sir.
She says that I'm no newsman, and don't be led astray, and look at Monday's forecast. Because apparently on Monday it's only getting up to 41 degrees.
But see? I knew it.
But see, that's a week away. They don't know.
Oh, man.
It's a load of hooey. They got no clue. You know, these weather people, they got maybe 4 days in them. Maybe. And after that, they're just throwing darts, man.
I'm going to have to look at the extended forecast.
Just throw them. Next Monday, 41 degrees. That's what it says there.
I knew it.
I'm no newsman, and you are a newsman, and she wants you to know that your news instincts were correct.
Thanks, E.
Yeah, there you go. Food for everybody but me.
And War Eagle.
Wow. My.
I wouldn't say that, but
how? I mean, I'm not even a Sooner fan, and I felt kind of bad for him.
Felt kind of dirty, didn't
yeah, it was like he didn't even get food. I can understand. If you get food, you get somebody eats food. I mean, hell, I'll throw out a War Eagle for the food.
Me as well.
Right? But for just all she did was compliment his news. And there.
Well, who knows? Maybe she'll make me something.
Well, it's almost guaranteed now.
I mean, you can't go wrong with Eve's food.
It's almost guaranteed now, brother. All right. Isn't it called Super Talk Radio? Some people are just dumb idiots. Well, I hope you're referring to Mike in Old Hickory and not me. Thank you. I've enjoyed the show so far, says 2415. We appreciate that. I love the shenanigans, writes in 0472. Well, thank you very much. By the way, I support President Trump. Well, that's good, too. This was the fella that says that Trump's economy is failing. Is it? You know, I'm fascinated with the people, the same people that spent 4 years not you, sir, not 1579. I'm not speaking of you, but I'm speaking generally, the same folks on these mainstream news networks that reminded us that the economy was going great during Joe Biden's administration. Everything's just fine during 7 and 8% inflation. Everything's just all hunky-dory with unemployment up and gas prices up. And now that Donald Trump takes decisive action in the Middle East, agree with the action or not, everyone knew this was coming. We all know that there's going to be if there's a temporary disruption in the movement of oil around the globe through the Strait of Hormuz, where 20% of the oil flows, that we're obviously going to see a spike in oil prices and, by extension, a spike in gasoline prices. This was understood. It was baked into the cake, if you will. The idea is we're achieving I'm not saying I'm not defending this, nor am I necessarily, I do support it, but I'm not necessarily saying this because I support it. It's just, it's the argument that the Trump administration is making, that we need permanent stability in the Middle East. We need permanent stability at the Strait of Hormuz. We need permanent stability in terms of the world's oil supplies. And the only way to achieve that permanent stability, it is humanitarian. From a humanitarian standpoint, it's the right thing to do. From an economic standpoint, it's the right thing to do, is to stabilize Iran and stop their funding of terrorism, not just in the Middle East, but around the globe. That's the argument here, folks. No one ever suggested that we weren't going to break a few eggs in order to achieve that beautiful omelet. And of course, we're breaking eggs right now. How's Iran going? Well, it remains to be seen now, doesn't it? Now, Donald Trump is speaking. Is this right now? I think this is live. I'm over on the hashtag #NeverCNN. Is he speaking live right now?
Yes, sir.
We're going to gyp some of this, my friend. Let's join this in progress, if you will.
Nobody's ever seen anything quite like it. You know, Iran was a very powerful military country with all of the missiles. Now, you had the double attack. You had the original attack with us and Israel, and that knocked them for a loop.
Hey, Jackson, transfer over to mine so we can get it on the television side of things, too, would you? You got it?
You've told your congressional colleagues that you will not sign any piece of legislation until the Save America Act is passed. Does that include the confirmation of Senator Mullen as your next DHS secretary? Does that mean a DHS funding bill? And Senator Thune said today it's not a matter of whether or not your Republican colleagues agree with the policy. It's about changing the process. In other words, getting rid of the filibuster to get there.
So in order to get it, you're going to need Democrat votes. And what we're saying is the Save America, not the SAVE Act, which nobody knew what it was, the Save America Act, the Save America Act. And that's voter ID. We want voter ID. We want to be able to see a picture of the voter. We want to be able to see that the voter is legitimate. We want, very importantly, confirmation that this voter is a citizen of the United States of America, and we want no mail-in ballot scams. So we have exceptions for the military, for sick, for disabled, and for people that are away, business trips or whatever. Even vacations will be very liberal in that. We've added two things to it: no men and women's sports and no transgender mutilization of our children. We don't want it's mutilization of our children, and we don't want that. So we added those two things. That's the 5 points. We have 5 very good points. It polls at 86% with Democrats. Think of that. The overall vote is 86%. With Republicans, it's 98%. And the only one opposed to it is a Democrat leadership because they cheat. They want to cheat. So we added those 2 points. We're going for the gold, and we're going to have to fight like hell. Now, certain things will happen. Certain things will take place. I'm here to do a great job for the country. But we don't have a country, if we're going to have elections that are so corrupt and so dishonest like we've witnessed over the last period of time. You know, as an example, virtually nobody has a system of mail-in ballots like we have. No other country in the world. France went away from it. They all went, you know why? Because it's corrupt. And Jimmy Carter, when he had a commission, frankly, I think it's probably the best thing Jimmy Carter did. He said, you can't have mail-in voting because it's inherently dishonest. And it's turned out to be totally dishonest, so we're going to fight for it. Yeah.
Has Iran activated any sleeper cells inside the U.S.? There's reports that they have pressed that trigger button to activate those cells, at least abroad.
Well, they've been trying for a long time. We've been very much on top of it. One of the things we have to do is get the Democrats to stop the Democrat shutdown, because, as you know, the apparatus that looks into that, Schumer and the Democrats have shut it down.
Amen, Mr. President.
Which tells you they probably hate our country a lot. But the Democrats have to open that up. But we've got very, very good
report on that,
intelligence
CNN.
into that. We know a lot of different things that have happened that have been very bad. A lot of them came in during the Biden open border period. But we have them under, we've got them, we're watching every single one of them. Yeah, we know a lot about them. The biggest problem we have is the Democrat shutdown. We know a lot about them, but the shutdown doesn't allow us to do what we have to do.
Do you have to take him out? Does he have a target on his back?
You mean the new Supreme Leader? You mean the son?
How can there be an Iran with
Well,
another
I don't want to say that, but you know, I was disappointed because we think it's going to lead to just more of the same problem for the country. So I was disappointed to see their choice.
Oh, sound like turkeys.
You said you have someone in mind to be the new Iranian leadership, if not the Ayatollah's son. What are you looking for in that person? Are you looking at someone internal, given that you just said that their leadership has been decimated?
I like the
and
idea
wiped
of, internal and eternal, come to think of it. But I like the idea of internal because it works well. I mean, I think we've proven that so far in Venezuela. We have a woman, Delcy, who has been president of the country, very respected, she's doing a great job. And it's, no disruption. We had, as you remember, Iraq, where everybody got fired. The military got fired, the police got fired, the politicians got fired. There was nobody. And you know what they turned into? ISIS. And we don't want that. We don't want that. So I would like to see people that are inside go. Now, they talk about the son of the Shah. They talk about other people, but, hasn't been there in many, many years. We have a formula that's been very good so far, and I think it'll continue to be good. The relationship is extraordinary with Venezuela, smart country. We've taken out 100 million barrels of oil. It's right now in Houston being taken care of and made so beautiful. And you have to see this at work. They have it's brought to the refineries. It's being refined in Houston, which is made exactly for that product. And so far, but it's 100 million barrels of oil, and now they have another 100 million barrels coming. And it's like a partnership. We're getting along so well with them. It's great for Venezuela, and it's great for the United States. Yeah, please go ahead.
Hi, Mr. President. You just suggested that Iran somehow got its hands on a Tomahawk and bombed its own elementary school on the first day of the war. But you're the only person in your government saying this. Even your defense secretary wouldn't say that when he was asked, standing over your shoulder on your plane on Saturday. Why are you the only person saying this?
Because I just don't know enough about it. I think it's something that I was told is under investigation. But Tomahawks are used by others, as you know. Numerous other nations have Tomahawks. They buy them from us. But I will certainly, whatever the report shows, I'm willing to live with that report. Yeah, please.
That's a much better Donald Trump
that we've already won in many ways
than we've seen in the past. That was very, very good.
Consider enough? What's your baseline?
Where they're not going to be starting the following day to develop a nuclear weapon. Where they'll look at that man and some other people from the administration and say, all right, we're not going to do it. They were not willing to say that. And when Steve called up and he said that to me, I said, well, here we go. Let's do it the hard way. But the hard way, I think, is probably the easy way. When basically I can see that they will no longer have any capacity whatsoever for a very long period of time of developing weaponry that could be used against the United States, Israel,
or any of our allies. We have great allies in the Middle East, great countries that are allies. And they were staying out of it until they got hit. Someday they'll have to do a story. Why did he do that? Why did they do that? But they were going to hit them. If I didn't hit them first, they were going to hit our allies first. I believe, upon information and belief, but I believe that he was going to, they were going to take over the Middle East. They were looking to take over the Middle East. Now, had Operation Midnight Hammer not taken place, that was definite, because they would have had a nuclear weapon within a matter of weeks. But that took place. That was a setback. But look at the number of missiles they were able to buy and make over the last 6 months. And those missiles were aimed at various countries. And when you look at over 1,000 missiles shot at like UAE, they were looking to take over the Middle East. We got there first. We're lucky. I'll tell you what, the Middle East and those countries, very rich countries, are very lucky that I was president instead of somebody else.
We're going to stick with this for just a moment or two more. We got to take a quick time out in a minute. Let's get to this question.
I don't think so, no. No, we get along very well on this. He was, I would say, philosophically a little bit different than me. I think he was maybe less enthusiastic about going, but he was quite enthusiastic. But I felt it was something we had to do. I didn't feel we had a choice. If we didn't do it, they would have done it to us. I felt, based on the negotiations that were being had by Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner and Marco and Pete, and everybody was involved, I felt that they were looking to tap us along before they hit, and I thought they were going to hit. And if they hit us first, that would have been a very bad thing.
All right, we're going to take a short time out. We'll continue monitoring this, and if anything comes out of the continued questioning, we will bring it to you. But we have to take a short break. It's 24 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. You're listening to The Matt Murphy Show. It's as simple as this, folks. United Structural Systems is not just another repair company. They're your local foundation and waterproofing experts. They live here. They work here. They understand exactly how Tennessee's soil, weather, and homes behave. They've been serving Tennessee homeowners for 30 years, over 30 years. Since 1994, more than 30,000 local homeowners have trusted USS. That experience means they've seen every type of problem our homes face. They know how to read the signs. I've told you time and again, folks, every crack and leak tells a story, and USS knows exactly what those signs mean. They pinpoint the problems at the source, whether it's foundation settlement, basement water intrusion, crawl space moisture issues, and much, much more. No guesswork, just expert diagnosis from people who understand Tennessee homes and understand how to act. Book your free home inspection today at USSTN.com. That's USSTN.com. United Structural Systems. They are problem solvers. They are experienced. They're local. They are USS with a lifetime transferable warranty. USSTN.com. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for Dickens Turf and Landscape. We've been talking about the change of the season. Well, Dickens wants to put it down where the goats can graze on it, okay? Well, not goat. I mean, they don't use goats. What they do use are Toro cutters. And let me tell you something. The Toro spring sales event is going on at Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply right now. It is mowing season. We're in progress, and it is time to replace that old mower. Right now, you can save up to $300 on Toro zero turns, residential zero turns, and up to $70 on Toro walk mowers. They're stocked up on recyclers, Toro time cutters, Toro Titans, Toro Z-Master mowers, and they're looking to make a deal. Toro, you can count on it. Go where the pros go. Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. There are 7 convenient Middle Tennessee locations. You're never too far from one of their stores. You can visit them online at DickensSupply.com. That's DickensSupply.com. Once again, go where the pros go. Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply, your one-stop Toro shop.
A high-profile gun rights bill for renters has cleared the Tennessee General Assembly. Tell you about that and other top stories coming up at 5:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Donald Trump just wrapping up a press conference held at the White House today discussing our effort in Iran and getting some background into the purpose of said effort from an assembled press that seems largely confused. I don't know why they're largely confused, but they always seem so very confused and oblivious. Why are we doing this here? Did you not get the memo that Islam was the largest state sponsor of terrorism on the globe and has been for many, many decades? That they're sponsoring terrorism through Hezbollah, through Hamas. Those things we expect will stop as a result of the change in leadership over there. And oh, by the way, I'm not here to tell you how this fails. There are plenty of people that are willing to do that. And I'm sick of hearing them. I'm telling you that I don't know. But I am hopeful, and I can see a path to victory. Am I concerned? Am I trepidatious? Am I hopeful? Yes. All of those things. But I'm not here to explain to you why nothing that we can do is going to work. There are plenty of folks that are doing that. I'm not one of them. I understand what the pitfalls are. I understand where the quicksand is. We all understand if you have studied up whatsoever on the Middle East regarding American interest in war over there, you get it. You get it. But I still believe we're the good guys. I still believe that this pursuit is noble and honest and earnest. And I still maintain a belief that we will be victorious without having to put boots on the ground. Now, this is what happens when you leave a professional job to the amateurs. And I love all of y'all. I love every single one of you. But I received 3, count them 3, in nincompoop stories. It was the same story. 3 different people sent me a story and said, you've got to use this nincompoop on Monday. And I'm like, man, this is a good story. I'm using this nincompoop on Monday. I don't have to worry about it. I got my nincompoop. And I'm going to admit something to you, and y'all might get mad at me when I do. While Trump was talking, I thought, this almost sounds too good to be true. I might want to fact check this. Guess what, boys?
What?
Fake story.
What was the story?
It's about a dude that said he was abducted by dolphins. You see that one? It's a great story, but it's fake. It's not true.
Yeah, there's a couple of sites out there that are running some what appear to be real news stories, but then you start getting into it and it's not.
It's a Florida man. Real quick, I know we got to go to news. It was a Florida man found sunburned and disoriented who claimed that he was kidnapped by dolphins and he Let's see. He was kidnapped by dolphins and forced to build an underwater city.
At Finn Point.
At Finn Point, yeah. According to the police report, Ricky James Hollowell was found barefoot, sunburned, and wearing only swimming trunks. Told deputies he had been taken against his will by a pod of dolphins that forced him to construct an underwater project for them. But because I guess they don't have opposable thumbs. It's untrue. It's not a true story. So now I got to go find a nincompoop. Off I go. It's time for the news on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. And right now in Tennessee, a high-profile gun rights bill for renters has cleared the Tennessee General Assembly and is headed to the governor. This proposal forbids landlords from including firearm restrictions in residential leases. Supporters call it a major win for tenant rights and personal protection. Opponents believe it undermines landlords' authority to set rules for their properties. Right now in Middle Tennessee, News Channel 5 says a trove of internal NES emails it obtained is shedding light on what happened behind the scenes as the ice storm crippled Nashville in January. The CEO warned early on that conditions could be severe, but the messages show hesitation and confusion once outages spread. One board member repeatedly sounded alarms about the slow pace of repairs. Meanwhile, state lawmakers filing legislation today to give rural communities a seat at the table when it comes to municipal electric utilities like NES. This bill would require those utilities to include voting board members from every county they serve. Sponsors say customers living outside city boundaries pay the same rates but currently have no representation, which is the case at NES. Committees in both chambers are expected to take up the bill this week in the Tennessee General Assembly. Operation Epic Fury, President Trump seeming to wonder when Iran would surrender when he was addressing the gathering of Republicans in Doral, Florida today, and then speaking to reporters.
I don't know when they cry uncle, but they should have cried it 2 days ago, right? But they don't have anything left.
Iran has appointed a successor to replace the assassinated Ayatollah Khamenei. It's his son, Mojtaba Khamenei, and is expected to enforce the same kind of hardline regime as his father. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, I-40 still seems to be the hot point in traffic on your way home today. We've got a crash on the right shoulder now, 40 eastbound after Elm Hill Pike overpass. Still got one at the downtown split going westbound there at exit 211. And then 40 westbound past Charlotte Avenue. You got a stalled vehicle there blocking the right lane. Donaldson showing a crash on the off-ramp partially blocked. Briley Parkway southbound off-ramp to Elm Hill Pike. I'm Ken Weaver.
Savory Spice, a name so nice, I'll say it twice. Savory Spice is your one-stop shop for all things spices and seasonings and salts and peppers and everything you need to make the food better on your plate. You can find it at Savory Spice or in the pot or in whatever process you're in cooking the food. Whenever you need spices, you need to get to Savory Spice. Friends, if it's time to stock up, let's do it at Savory Spice. If you're trying to up your food game, you up your food game by upping your spice game. If you're trying to up your spice game, let me tell you, you up your spice game at Savory Spice. They have all of the best They don't charge you more for it. I mean, they are very cost effective when it comes to their price point, and it's better. The spices are better. They're superior to the big box stores, and these folks know exactly what they're doing. Holly and David, they've trained their team up to understand the relationship with spices. In other words, it's not just there's that. They can tell you what things go together and what things don't. And they make some of their own seasoning blends right in-house. Savory Spices, located in Franklin, just off the square. Go by and see Holly, David, and the rest of the team and tell them that I sent you to the delicious Savory Spice. You up your food game by upping your spice game. You up your spice game at Savory Spice. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy, and I want to talk with you for a moment about the folks at Eurofix. If you want to know a place where European auto repair doesn't feel that way, let me tell you, the moment you walk through the doors of Eurofix, you'll notice that they're not your typical greasy garage. Waiting rooms are clean and comfortable. They're inviting. Service areas are spotless because Eurofix cares about everything, from how you're treated to how your vehicle is treated. Every repair comes with a rock-solid 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty on all repairs they perform and at below-dealer pricing. You don't have to put up with dealer prices. You don't have to put up with getting ghosted waiting on a callback. They fix everything European at Eurofix, plus a rental car available at every appointment. Locations in Nashville, Franklin, Belmead, Murfreesboro, and Mount Juliet. Aaron Stokes, for 26 years, built Eurofix into what it is today. We miss him every day, and the journey goes on, and his commitment to quality goes on as well. 844-EUROFIX, that's 844-EUROFIX, or online at MyEurofix.com, MyEurofix.com. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Yes, many of you have noted that if I believed the story over the weekend and I depended on it to be my nincompoop story, and then I was fooled by said story because said story was not true, then that, in fact, makes me the nincompoop. Thank you. Nincompoop story. Local radio host pushes trash panda bill during massive rabies spikes in raccoons in surrounding states. Oh, now if you want to get, I want 4791. I got your number over there, 4791. Why don't you give me a call and let's talk about that? Because guess what? If all of what they're doing is working, then why is there a spike? The government can't control these. These are wild animals, for goodness sake. Oh, by the way, if you get a raccoon as a baby, there are raccoon vaccines that are available, and they'll tell you that they aren't raccoon specific, but there are raccoon vaccines available that can vaccinate a raccoon and keep a raccoon from getting rabies. But more on that in just a moment. Tell Ken it's pronounced Doral. I don't know what that means.
Doral?
Okay, Doral.
I thought I was saying Doral.
Is it Doral or Doral?
Maybe it's Doral.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm just reading it. You know, so it could
I'll
be.
look it up.
It could be, is it Florida?
It's Florida.
I think that's Doral.
Doral, Florida. All right.
But Ken, don't trust me.
I'm going to go to my Chat GPT.
What do I know? Yeah, I know this. It's 41 after the hour. Betty and Boyd, hang in there. You'll be right after Nincompoops in the News.
Nincompoops in the News.
I'm sad to report that Jackson Williams, blind Sal Acorn situation, he swept the field last week. Well, he didn't sweep. There were a couple of other victories, but he won 3 out of the 5, and he is your current and reigning nincompoop champion. But you know what? I feel like a lot of those votes, Ken, came in because of his gravitas.
Yeah, he was milking that gravitas.
Yeah, I mean, and he's
Big
not
time.
he's not getting that this week.
I have one thing to say.
What's that, Jackson?
Ken Weaver, bring me my trophy.
Uh-oh.
I promise I'll put it in there tomorrow.
No, it's Monday. I need that trophy today.
I'll tell you what, you let me go first, you can go get the trophy.
All right.
No,
What do you mean no?
because we share the same sources. I have to go first.
We do need to come up with like a like whenever we hand the trophy,
A
over,
transition of power.
We have a little
A little moment, a little transfer ceremony.
Mm-hmm. I'll go first, and then I'll go take the trophy out of Weaver's hand while you do your story.
I don't like the idea of you going first.
What website are you on?
I'm on one of our websites. Hey, does your story? Okay, well, does your story have anything to do with barbecue?
Yes.
Say this.
So the order today will be Williams, Murphy, Weaver.
So I'm last.
Yes.
All right, so I can bring you the trophy right now then.
Yeah, go ahead and do that before I get started.
Just to show you that I'm a good sport.
Good for you, Ken. You know what, Ken? He wouldn't do the same for you, but I appreciate the fact that you're a big enough man that you'll do it for him. Ken Weaver's bringing you the trophy as
I'm
we
doing
speak,
it right
Jackson.
now.
Why don't you go ahead and...
No, because I need Weaver to hear this story because his laughs get me votes. So let's just talk about...
No. You know what? I'm going to start telling Ken that. I'm going to remind Ken that part of the problem is he's giving you some pity laughs.
They're not pity laughs.
That's part of the issue, is that Weaver's giggling and laughing at you.
Jackson.
Thank you, Ken Weaver. I accept this with grace and humility.
Well, there's a change. That's something new.
I haven't had this one in a while. I missed it.
Have you shown everybody? Are you showing everybody?
Oh,
Can
no,
they
it's
see
not
it?
on camera.
Yeah, you better, slip it over. There you go,
There we
buddy.
go. So they didn't see Weaver.
Okay, there's the transfer of the trophy and the big crown. I think Ken Weaver's back in News Closet B, so you can go ahead with this story that I would have done had Jackson allowed me to go first. Go, Jackson.
Jail trustee in porta potty situation. Cops say inmate snuck away for toilet rendezvous at barbecue fundraiser.
I would have done this so much better. You lead with if the porta potty.
No. He's done.
Okay, it's your story. I'll shut up.
If the porta potty is a rockin', don't bother knocking. Unless, of course, the toilet is on the grounds of the sheriff's annual barbecue fundraiser and is being occupied by a male inmate who snuck off of a work assignment for sex with a woman who recently called the lockup home. By all accounts, Wednesday's Indian River County Sheriff's Office event was a hit, raising $63,000 for a Florida charity. Attendees were offered tours of the jail, and they enjoyed SWAT and canine demonstrations during the 32nd annual event. Food choices included $2 hot dogs and $7 dinner plates, pork or chicken.
I would go chicken.
I'd go pork.
Okay.
This fella
Jackson
chose pork. To help staff with the fundraiser.
He chose pork.
To help staff the fundraiser, organizers employed some inmates who could be counted on when beyond the prison's walls, known as trustees. Their tasks include serving food and maintenance of the grounds.
I know.
One such trustee was Hartley Sanchez, 35 years old. The Vero Beach man has been locked up in advance of trial on theft and drug possession charges. According to a police report, Sanchez was assigned to the barbecue serving line when he snuck away to a bank of portable toilets around 5:30 p.m., as recorded by surveillance cameras. Sanchez spoke with two women, one of whom eventually entered the porta potty. Sanchez subsequently joined her inside after checking if the coast was clear. When jailers later questioned him about his trip to the John, Sanchez spontaneously, openly, and freely stated that he had sex with the female in the porta potty.
Good for him.
Sanchez allegedly walked 50 yards away from his work post to the toilets to engage in an unauthorized conjugal visit, according to the arrest report. Asked about his companion, Sanchez said, "I'm not willing to name names." However, after a review of video footage, investigators identified the woman as Elizabeth Greer, a former jail inmate. Greer was freed from custody about 2 months ago after serving time for credit card theft and possession of drug paraphernalia. The nature of the relationship between Sanchez and Greer, who also lives in Vero Beach, is not addressed in court records. The porta potty pair is pictured above. For his toilet defiance, Sanchez was charged with prisoner escape or attempt to escape, a second-degree felony punishable by up to 15 years in prison.
What?
He is scheduled to be arraigned on April 8th.
They wait a minute. They charged him with attempt to escape?
Yeah.
Come on. Come on.
What a maroon.
Okay, all right. Jackson, I think we got the meat of the story there.
That's all the story is.
Before we move forward,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to appeal to the judgment of the audience because I don't believe there's a nincompoop in this story. Who's the nincompoop?
Trying to get some while
Who
you're...
among us, ye without sin, who among... The guy...
He's in jail, Matt.
Yeah. She's not a bad-looking woman.
He took the risk. He's the nincompoop.
He's a nincompoop.
I don't...
Just wait till you get out of jail, dude.
I think you got to strike where the iron is, where the fire's hot there, fellas.
I like his choice.
It's just it's the only thing I got to get a victory, Ken. You understand something?
I mean, a porta potty too. You couldn't find like a broom closet or just something a little bit more sanitary.
And he port in a storm.
It must have been really storming.
This fellow, he's had a belly full of chicken and pork. And, you got to do what you got to do, I suppose. Did you say I go next? I go next. A woman deemed by an airline to be too intoxicated to fly didn't feel like that was enough for her, and so she decided to get herself arrested at the airport. The woman was identified as 44-year-old Kristen Powers of Southbury, Connecticut. Police say the incident happened Sunday at the Tweed New Haven Airport around 4:50 in the afternoon. They said were advised there were multiple intoxicated people inside of the terminal, as is often the case.
Yeah.
The group eventually dispersed, but Powers remained. Police say she was advised multiple times that the airline had decided not to allow her to fly because of her level of intoxication. She was too drunk to fly. She was instructed to leave the premises. Police said Powers was belligerent, argumentative. They attempted to arrange a ride for her. However, they said they were called back to the building because of her behavior. She refused the ride and then went on to demand, "Why don't y'all go ahead and arrest me?" Well,
brazen.
You ask for it, and she gets it.
She gets it.
So they arrested her. Powers was charged with disorderly conduct, first-degree criminal trespass, released on $500 bond. No word on where the woman was traveling to begin with, but she will not be getting there anytime soon. This lady, while she had no sex in a porta potty to my knowledge, is a bona fide nincompoop.
Yes, sir.
Ken?
Nashville police.
Uh-oh.
Man flips cash register, chases staff with coffee pot after demanding free food at Crystal's. Channel 4 says a man reportedly flipped a cash register at a Nashville Crystal restaurant after demanding free food. Happened on March 6th. Officers called to the restaurant there on 2671 Murfreesboro Pike. Employees told officers that 29-year-old Dante Mason was demanding free food. The employee said they tried to offer fries, but he reportedly objected and said that they, quote, shouldn't tell him what to do, and demanded wings. According to the affidavit, Mason then reportedly started acting disruptively and flipped over the cash register, rendering it inoperable.
Does Crystal even serve wings?
He then grabbed a coffee pot and started chasing people with it. Mason then left and headed to a bus stop where he tried to ride the bus. Officers found Mason at the bus stop and approached him. When officers asked him for an explanation of his side of the incident, he reportedly refused and said there was, quote, no side to the story.
Mm-hmm.
Officers tried to detain Mason, but he ran away. They chased him about 50 feet before bringing him to the ground. Mason was charged with vandalism, resisting arrest, evading arrest, and assault. He was booked on a $6,500 bond.
He's lucky they didn't charge him with assault with a deadly weapon because I've had that Crystal coffee. Thank you, Ken.
Crystal's delicious.
Thank you, Ken. Does Crystal even serve wings?
I'm assuming.
Probably don't.
I think it's a better story if they don't.
Yeah.
And he was just randomly demanding wings.
Exactly.
Oh, I think y'all should. We should all collectively vote for Ken Weaver because Jackson's getting too big for his potty britches. But you can vote your conscience, folks. Matt Murphy, Ken
Crystals
Weaver.
does serve wings.
Crystals does serve wings. That sounds disgusting. I love a good Crystal burger like the next guy, but that sounds gross. You can vote for Jackson as well. That's how we play Nincompoops in the News. Your call's coming up. Plus, you are not being told the full story. If you've listened to this story about this local journalist in Nashville that got detained by ICE, you're not being told the full truth. I will tell you the full truth after this on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Vote for Matt Murphy! Friends, we're talking quite a bit today about the weather changes. Obviously, we feel like spring is here. And while it's not official on the calendar, obviously the bugs are out in force. All the green growing in your yard means that the bugs are getting to it, and they are making little baby bugs. And those bugs want what's yours. They want the comfort of your home. They want the food that's inside of your home, whether it's spiders or stink bugs or ants or ladybugs or mice or silverfish or roaches and much, much more. U.S. Pest is here to protect you. U.S. Pest is the official sponsor of the Matt Murphy Show. Every single hour is brought to you by U.S. Pest, and I love it. I love that they offer termite protection, crawl space service, and full-service pest control throughout Middle Tennessee and beyond. Here's the bottom line, folks. J.K. and Erica Brister, they love the United States of America, and they hate bugs. I mean, you go by a billboard, you'll see an American flag flying over that billboard. Why? Because they love this country and everything that she represents. But these bugs, they gotta go, and they go when U.S. Pest comes to your door. U.S. Pest, 590-1260, 590-1260, or online at uspest.com for U.S. Pest.
6 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Radar showing some heavy rain across southern Tennessee. Right now, there's a particularly heavy area of rain near Murfreesboro. All this activity is the heavy rain, at least. The heaviest is south of 840, and it is moving east. Full forecast, traffic updates in 5 minutes. Right now in Tennessee, the Landlord Firearms Act is now headed to Governor Lee's desk after final legislative approval. This measure prevents landlords from banning tenants from legally possessing or storing firearms in their homes or vehicles. Supporters say the bill strengthens Second Amendment protections for renters across the state. Opponents warn it could complicate safety policies for property owners. News Channel 5 says newly uncovered emails it obtained show Nashville Electric Service leadership scrambling during January's ice storm. The messages include questions about whether more crews were needed and how to rush an emergency contract even as outages stretched into days. Board members pushed for clearer communication, warning that customers needed realistic timelines. Meanwhile, at the State House, a new proposal would change how city-owned electric utilities in Tennessee are governed after the ice storm here in Nashville. Under the bill, counties served by a municipal utility would get to appoint their own voting board members. Lawmakers say it's a way to improve oversight, reliability, and storm preparedness. NES serves customers in Davidson County and 6 surrounding counties, but its board is currently appointed only by Nashville's mayor. An Operation Epic Fury update. Gasoline prices going up because the conflict is impacting oil prices. But President Trump said his good relationship with China and now Venezuela will help with that. Mr. Trump saying they're even looking into lifting sanctions to help out.
We're also waiving certain oil-related sanctions to reduce prices. So we have sanctions on some countries. We're going to take those sanctions off till this straightens out. Then who knows, maybe we won't have to put them on. There'll be so much peace.
President said U.S. naval ships may also escort tankers to keep the Strait of Hormuz operational if needed. Big entertainment news today. Live Nation's antitrust settlement with the Department of Justice could ripple through Nashville's live entertainment market and across the nation. The Tennessean says the company has agreed to sell off 13 amphitheaters and cap service fees at 15%, a move federal officials say will help bring prices down nationwide. Ticketmaster must also allow competitors to use its platform, potentially giving Middle Tennessee venues and others more freedom in choosing how they sell tickets. Still, Tennessee joins a long list of states refusing to sign on, arguing the settlement doesn't fully address Live Nation's monopoly power. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Sylvan Park still showing a crash on the right shoulder, 40 eastbound at White Bridge Pike, Briley Parkway. Then in Donaldson, a crash. This is Briley Parkway northbound at Lebanon Pike. And Buena Vista injury accident, Clarksville Pike, just north of West Hamilton Road. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. Welcome back. It's the Matt Murphy Radio Show. Final hour of the day begins right now, or at least my portion of it does. Ken Weaver's already delivered some of his portion of the hour with the top of the hour newscast, and we appreciate that. 7 minutes past. Hope everything is A-OK on the roadways. I understand that there's some inclement weather moving through toward the south of us. Y'all be careful out there. It'll be there when you get there. 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. We've got 2 or 3 more minutes of voting. And my goodness gracious, it is a tighter than expected race between Jackson Williams and Ken Weaver. What are you shaking your head for, Jackson?
Have you checked the YouTube poll?
No, I wait on the YouTube poll. The YouTube poll is of no consequence to me until 6:10 when the voting closes. And I don't know that we ever established how much credence we give to the YouTube. Does it get 1 vote, 2 votes? Here, I'll vote. I just voted Matt Murphy. There you go.
Oh, wow. It took you from 17% to 19%.
Why you got to be this attitude-driven there, Jack? I'm the attitude guy.
You came in with the negative energy today.
I came in hot.
I was in a great mood.
You were, Tennessee Titans are so awesome. We love the Titans. They're so great. Look at this show, Ted, blah, blah, blah.
It's not what I sound like.
That's my Jackson impersonation. Gravitas. Anyway, yes, I did come in grumpy. But I gave my grumpy to you, and now I feel great about it. So, you're winning. What are you so upset about?
I want to win by more. I would like to crush your spirits.
My spirit was crushed when I realized that the dolphin fella was not a true story. Yeah. By the way, someone had, Ken, while you're here, I just need to talk to you away from Jackson for a minute.
Yes, sir.
Someone accused Jackson of using a fake story a couple of days ago.
Oh.
I said that his pickle jar story turned out not to be true.
From the same website I used today.
Well, look, as the great Ken Weaver has said a time or two, I'm just reporting the news, Jackson. Just letting you know. We depend on the audience to make us aware of any fakery or chicanery regarding the stories that we present to you. Jackson, your victory is sealed, so you don't have to worry about anybody taking that victory away from you. We're not going to USC this championship for you. You'll be just fine. You'll be just fine, and nobody's taking your Heisman Trophy away either.
I'm
so
king nincompoop.
Will you say that one more time?
No.
Oh.
I'm king nincompoop.
Oh, that's getting cut.
Yeah, thanks. All right, we get to Betty and we get to Boyd, and then I'll get to this story about this Latino reporter who no one in the local news media, absent the Tennessee Star and a couple of other outlets, and we will be one of them, is reporting the full story because they don't like certain aspects of this story. This is what the news media is doing, and this is a microcosm of what's happening in media, where these television outlets are reporting half of a story regarding an illegal alien reporter in Nashville, Tennessee that got stopped by ICE, apprehended by ICE, And they're like, why did she get apprehended? What is she doing? Is this because she's reporting on the stories and she claimed asylum and she's married to an American citizen? I'll give you the full story coming up in just a moment. First up, it's Betty's turn. Betty, thank you for your patience. God bless you. The floor is yours.
Well, did you go home and shit?
Okay, I'm gonna pick up on Betty and let her know. I mean, she's been holding a long, long time, and I apologize for the length of time she's been holding, but she needs to be aware that she's on the radio. I think she might have said a curse word or somebody did in the background there.
Said a couple of.
Yeah, I think.
I dumped it.
Did you? Yeah, it's probably for the best. She said a couple of. I don't think she was talking to us, but
someone used the fiddlesticks term
and the S. I thought I heard an S. I know I heard an F. I thought I heard an S. Those are both of the words you can't really say on the radio anymore. Boyd, you are next. Please don't curse.
Hello?
Hey, Boyd, how are you?
Dude, I am doing great, and I'm not going to use no curse words.
Don't do
but
that.
I will say that, you know what, I think Jackson is a little bit of a cheater.
Well, he is a Vols fan, Boyd.
And I think Ken Weaver, dude, anytime you want to hang out and have a beer together, which I don't drink beer, I drink tequila.
Never would have
we
guessed
will be
that.
on the same frequency. And Matt Murphy.
Yes, sir. I drink tequila too, Boyd.
I would never call anybody else but you.
Oh,
I mean,
you're a
I
good
swear,
man.
I've called the station just a few times, and I've been listening to y'all for about 13 years.
Nice.
And you're the only person I've ever called. And I've called you 3 times. This makes the 3rd time. And, brother, let me tell you what. Y'all rock my world.
Thank you, Brother Boyd.
Well, thank you, Boyd. I appreciate that. I think that's the first time a fella's ever told me that, Boyd. But I'll take it.
Hey, and that ain't. Let me tell you what. Ain't anything sexual about that. You know,
I know. I'm just
You know
messing
what I
with
mean?
you. I'm just messing with you, buddy. I'm just messing with you. What? So what's on your mind tonight, Boyd? What do you got? What do you got to say?
What have I got?
Yeah.
Dude, I've told you before, I'm a 62-year-old man. I don't have no children. I don't have no family left. I'm all on my own. And when I tell the young guys that I work with, 20-something-year-olds, appreciate what you got because it could be gone in a minute. You'll have it 1 minute and the next minute's gone. They don't listen to me. And let me tell you what, when you're 62 years old and you have nobody that cares if you live or die, makes a lot of difference in your life, really does. You kind of, what can I say? You just step back and look at your life and you're like, damn, I probably could have done a better job, so that when I'm older, I have people that give a fuck if I die or not.
We got to go on that one, Boyd. I'm so sorry. I appreciate your call. I appreciate you not cursing until then. Boyd, I want to tell you something, and I want to make sure that you understand this. Absent the cursing, and I know you didn't mean to, and you don't have to call me back and tell me you're sorry. That's fine. And absent the joking about tequila and all that, I care. I care. And I think that a hell of a lot of people care. Let me make sure that y'all understand something. Beyond the politics, beyond the yelling and screaming about the day-to-day, beyond all of that, every single one of you has value. Every single one of you has value. Boyd, never forget that there are people that care about you. Now, if you don't have a wife or you don't have kids or you don't have family, it might be a little more difficult for you to understand that day to day. And I get that too. I understand that too. But I want to make sure that look, I yell and scream at people and I get into fusses and fights with people and I always think I'm right. Why wouldn't I always think I'm right? Of course I think I'm right. And if you disagree with me, then I think you're wrong. All of that notwithstanding, if you ever believe that you don't have anything of value to offer your fellow man, you call me and we'll get together and we'll talk. Because I believe that everyone has value, everyone has a story, everyone has a reason for being. And I never want you to believe otherwise. There are far too many people out there that we walk by every single day that we pretend that we don't see. And government's not one of the most frustrating aspects of my job and one of the most frustrating aspects of what we do on a day-to-day basis. We get caught up in the important stuff and we get caught up in the role of government. And sometimes that presents in such a way that comes off as hard-hearted and closed off to the emotional needs of other people. That is not what the government's here for. The government is, I almost said a curse word myself. You're about to have to dump me. The government is so crappy at helping people. But that doesn't mean that you can't do the little things in your life on a day-to-day basis to make sure that people understand that no matter what they've done, no matter what irresponsibility they've engaged in, no matter how many times they've screwed up, they have value. And I think we collectively, me and you, every single person listening to this right now, we need to remind ourselves of that too. Not that we have value. Most of you know that you do. But that guy on the street corner that has made the horrible decisions in it, and that guy on the street corner that's a drug addict, that's homeless, that is begging for loose change, that smells bad, that's whacked out of his mind, that's made every possible bad decision in his life to bring him to where he is, he has value. Above and beyond all the bad decisions, above and beyond everything he's done to screw his life up, he has value. And we need to remind ourselves of that every once in a while. God knows it. God knows it, and we should know it too. I feel very strongly about this. I can't help them all. You can't help them all. And sometimes the little things add up. And it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart if somebody like Boyd thinks that he doesn't have value to other people. Now, let me make sure that you understand the other side of that. That you need to bring the value, right? And you need to have a recognition. If you don't understand your value, if you don't understand your worth, then you oftentimes allow yourself to sink into the depths of human existence. And if I'm going to recognize your value, and we're going to do something about where you are in your station in life, then you have to recognize what you did to put yourself there. because 99% of the time it's on you. Long term it is. Whether it's addiction or whether it's pushing your family away. I mean, let's not be confused. I am insanely sensitive to the idea that human beings don't have value, but I'm also sensitive to the fact that the vast majority of people that find themselves in a bad way, they're in a bad way because they put themselves there. And you have to take a tough love approach to help people understand that too. That they can't just sit around and blame everyone else for their problems. They can't just sit around and explain away whatever addiction they have or whatever loss they have in their life or whatever absence they have with family or whatnot. They can't just explain it away as always somebody else's fault. It's always the other guy's fault. It's always, well, they did this to me and I don't bear any. Yes, you do. Yes, you do bear some responsibility. Because you have value. You see, those two things go hand in hand. You matter. Your decisions matter. The things you do in your life matter. They matter for good and they matter for bad. And it is true that so often you reap what you sow. That's the tough love side of it. That if you sit around and you blame everybody else for the condition that you find yourself in your life, then you're just going to continue to get that which you claim you hate. Because you don't have any responsibility, right? You don't have any take on it. But if you're able to get up, sometimes it is the hardest thing in the world to do. Man, oh man, what is it? That success has 1,000 fathers and failures. I mean, it is the hardest thing in the world to do. It's to stand up and find yourself a mirror. Whether it's in your home or in your place of business or wherever you might be, and look at that person looking back at you and understand that in almost every circumstance, the person responsible for where you are in your life is looking back at you. And if you turn obstacles into responsibility, if you turn obstacles into opportunity, you can overcome anything you want to in this life, no matter where you are in this life. But it all starts with a recognition that you have value. My sermon is over. It is 24 after the hour on Super Talk. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy. Let's talk about efficient heating and cooling. My man, Jeff Eddy, treated me so right, and he'll do the same for you. I am a living example of what Jeff Eddy does on a day-to-day basis, right? He sent out Roger, which is his Cracker Jack agent of Mr. Fix-It, right? And I had some problems with my my heater. Well, first and foremost, Roger said, I got to get you past the ice storm, because this was before the ice storm, and he did. He repaired my heater to the point that we got beyond the ice storm. Then he came back out and he said, Matt, I think we got a little bit more of a long-term issue here. We started talking about that, and eventually they tried every different thing that they possibly could to repair my heating and air conditioning unit. And Roger had to deliver the sad news. He said, you got a cracked heater body, and then we talked about options. And I was delivered 4 different options. One was to attempt to repair it. One was to replace just the heater body. And the other 2 options involved new units. And they walked me through the process of what all that meant and what the price point was on it. I love this about Jeff Eddy and Efficient Heating and Cooling. They are trustworthy. They are as good as gold when it comes to their word. Their word is their bond. And you need to have them in your life as your heating and cooling maintenance people, as well as your repair folks, if something goes wrong. EfficientHVAC.net. That's EfficientHVAC.net or 615-784-4424, 784-4424 for our friends at Efficient. The Wellness Institute of Nashville does just about everything the proper way. Now, allowing Jackson to run around here with this crown on and his trophy in his hand, you know what? I could make argument that this is probably not best practices for the Wellness Institute, but they are the official Nincompoops in the News weekly winner sponsor, and so we just say thank you for that. And more importantly, thank you for everything you do for our community. When it comes to pain, if you're feeling it anywhere on your person, back pain, neck pain, knee pain, hip pain, elbow pain, wherever it hurts, contact Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Ashley, and the rest of the team. Allow them to help you by healing you permanently, getting rid of that pain without having to worry about surgery, without having to worry about popping pills all the time, and without having to worry about needles, those pain blockers and whatnot. They've got a brand new HydroWave, which is pretty cool. They've been talking about it, and we've been talking about it as well. The first and only office in the state of Tennessee to have this new device. Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Ashley, they're my doctors, and I want them to be yours. You need to call and ask them about this incredible HydroWave. Once again, only office in the state of Tennessee to have it. Call them at 615-246-5009, 615-246-5009, or online at painisbad.com, painisbad.com. It's the Wellness Institute of Nashville. They have my seal of approval. Hey, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I got a message from someone who said, hey, it was an old Birmingham listener. And it said, hey, I'm a listener from back in the Birmingham days when I was in Alabama. And it's good to see you haven't changed one bit. You teased a story 30 minutes ago and you still haven't paid it off. I'm so horrible at teases. I'm so sorry.
Do you remember what the story was?
I think it was the reporter, the journalist reporter in Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to pay it off before we get out of here, but I apologize for not doing so. 1970 writes in, and I want to speak to this real quick. I'll get to Betty's call, and I don't want to belabor the sermon because I love you guys, and I mean this. This goes beyond politics for me. This goes to the bottom of my heart that And I'm not talking about people that try to take advantage of other people. I'm not talking about people that are in powerful positions. I'm talking about people that do not believe they have worth. And when I say that 99% of the time, or the vast majority of the time, that when you look in the mirror, that the person looking back at you is responsible for where you are in life, I understand that there are exceptions to that rule. And 1970 writes and says, that's not true, Matt. I did nothing to get where I'm at. I'm disabled and my husband passed away. I don't blame anyone. It just is what it is. Sometimes life just sucks. And that is true. And I understand where you're coming from, and I understand what you're saying, and I'm sorry, I wouldn't want that to happen to you. And I understand that good people have awful, awful, awful things happen to them, whether it's personal injury or disability, or they lose a loved one, or there's an accident that they're not responsible for. But I would say this, that in 99% of the cases, you are the person that made the decisions that put yourself in the position of where you are. And without breaking down your story individually and just, God bless you, I take you at your word, I will say this, that if you take this approach to those things that do come at you through no fault of your own, if you decide that you are the arbiter of your fate, that you determine what next steps happen, that you have the power and the ability to affect the outcome, that you can either sit and wallow at the obstacle that is in front of you, or you can overcome that obstacle by any means necessary, that if you empower yourself that you can affect the change in your life that you want, then even if this obstacle got there through no fault of your own, you're going to be better positioned to conquer it with this attitude, as opposed to the one that says, well, I couldn't help it, I'm not responsible, this is just all woe is me. I'm not saying this particular super texter is saying this, I'm just saying in general, I see way too much of this crap. Don't y'all? Way too much of this. I don't control this, woe is me. And, and I'm not talking about anybody that I've previously referenced at this point. I'm launching off to another subject that we see way too much of this, especially on social media platforms. And social media platforms is making it so much worse that people have an elevated sense of importance and a deflated sense of personal value. Elevated sense of importance and a deflated sense of value. And you know what that leads to? That leads to people wanting to be handed things that they do not deserve. It is why I tell you that on balance, the internet has been a net negative for world society. It has been a negative for world society. Mainly because of how it's changing our psychology when it comes to value and importance. And those are way different things, and I hope y'all understand that. Betty's back. Hey, Betty.
Hey, I am so sorry.
Oh,
but
Betty.
I want to tell you, I didn't say the F word. I didn't. I swear I didn't.
Okay.
But
I believe you.
I'm so sorry. When I heard you, I could have fell on the ground.
Well, Miss Betty, you no need to apologize. It is all water under the bridge.
No, honey, I had to. I told the gentleman that answered the phone, I said, I've got to tell him. I just got to. I told my friend, I said, I've been waiting to talk to this man. And I said, you pull up behind me. I got out of my vehicle, left my door open, and I don't remember exactly what. I don't say those words, though, the F words and stuff.
Okay.
But I'm not sure what I did say to him. So I'm sorry y'all hurt me.
Well, it's all good. And no, we believe you. We love you. Miss Betty, we love you. And say no more about it. Say no more about it.
Okay, I love y'all. I called in. I have nothing really to say much. It's that I love listening to y'all three.
Well,
all
thank
three
you.
of you.
Well, thank
y'all
you.
make me so happy in the afternoons that I like today. The reason that made me call, I didn't ever think I'd get through to y'all. But I said, I have got to call and say something. You cracked me up when you was talking to Mike. That was the best laugh I have had in a long time. I said, no, he didn't. I just cracked up. But that's all I wanted, honey.
Well, Betty, you have a great evening, and I appreciate you calling. Call us anytime, and I will not make you wait so long the next time around. I appreciate you greatly, and no worries on any of the rest of that. I'm glad that you were able to hold it. I'm glad that you were able to call us back. I am also glad to be able to relate the story to you because I do not believe that the full story is being told. Now, there are a couple of media outlets that are willing to tell the full story, and I say kudos to Michael Patrick Leahy for being one of them with the Tennessee Star. I turn to the Tennessee Star for local stories from time to time. They're a good resource and good information. An exhibit included in the federal response. So if you've not heard the backstory, I guess I should start at the beginning, right? There was a Colombian-born journalist who was arrested in Nashville, Tennessee. Her name is Estefany Rodriguez Flores, who is a Colombian journalist who has been detained by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Division, or ICE, while living in Nashville. And Estefany Rodriguez Flores claims that she is married to a citizen of the United States of America, and that would immunize her from any possibility of deportation. The claim was made by the U.S. Department of Homeland, and now there's a new claim out that indicates that while she is married to a citizen of the United States of America, she only got married to a citizen of the United States of America 2 weeks after she received a removal letter from ICE. This is the portion that no one in the local news media seems to be concerned about. The Nashville Banner previously reported that Rodriguez Flores received her first call-in letter, or G56 letter, from ICE January 8th, meaning the DHS document suggested the Colombian citizen was married 13 days after receiving instructions to appear before immigration officials and 5 days before the meeting was scheduled to take place. In addition to her recent marriage, the DHS narrative states that Rodriguez Flores only filed paperwork to adjust her legal status February 8th, 1 month after she received a call-in letter. Now, the call-in letter is she has overstayed her visa, and they're calling her in because she's overstayed her visa. DHS says that a member of the Rodriguez Flores legal team visited the ICE office with her husband, Alejandro Medina III, but the attorney withheld her G56 call-in letter and only presented applications, prompting officers to offer March 17th as a new meeting date. In other words, the filing, she lied in terms of the filing. Rodriguez Flores was born in Colombia in 1990. Sometime between 08 and 18, she had her first child, remained in Colombia with the father. Her daughter was born in 2019 in Colombia, but is currently reported to be living with the child's father in Franklin, Tennessee. DHS additionally states that Rodriguez Flores twice applied for authorization to work in the United States. The first occurred in February of 2022. She applied for and was granted an I-765 work authorization from the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service, which was valid until February of 2024. After receiving the letter from ICE January 8th and marrying Medina on January 21st, Rodriguez Flores, was issued the second letter February 11th. She filed paperwork to amend her status, apparently citing her recent marriage, on February 14th. She was arrested on March 4th and has been detained at a detention facility in Alabama. So all of this sound and fury about Rodriguez Flores being a journalist and all of this is because she's reporting on ICE activity is nonsense. She overstayed a work visa. And if you overstay a work visa and you don't file the proper paperwork, then you receive documentation that requires you to report, and you potentially can be arrested and deported as a result. So just to note, all of the media outlets detailing to you how she is married to a U.S. citizen, that is true. But they are omitting a very important and key fact in this case, and that is only after she received documentation that basically amounted to, hey, you're about to get deported. because you've overstayed your visa. And she got married to prevent deportation, which you also can't do. You cannot marry someone specifically to remain in the United States of America or to avoid deportation. Now, this story is a microcosm of the greater effort on the part of the Trump administration to remove individuals that ought not be in the United States of America back to their countries of origin and to get a better, more, well, a legal process by which individuals come to the United States. And I've long said that I don't have a problem with that process. I do want to make sure that everything in that process is benefiting the United States of America from the beginning to the end. Everything about our immigration policy should be designed to benefit the United States of America. It should be a secondary consequence that it benefits the individual that is attempting to come here. Why is that such a dangerous thing to say in 2026? That our immigration policy should first, foremost, and last benefit us as a nation. If there is residual benefit, and obviously there will be because we're the greatest nation on God's green earth, if there is a residual benefit to that individual, then so be it. That's great. That's wonderful. The reason that we must have a stringent immigration process, the reason that Donald Trump is expending the level of energy in his administration to solve this problem is because if we do not solve this problem, we will cease to be a nation that people want to come to. A lot of people want to come here. And if we allow the floodgates to open up, you get what you saw in the Biden administration for 4 years. Sadly, we can't have it and remain a great nation. So we must curtail the immigration process. We must make sure that it is an orderly one, that it is done in the legal way. And if that means that Rodriguez Flores has to go back, she's got to go back. You can't just put a ring on it and expect everything is going to be okay. Now, will the media try to, play the world's smallest violin playing a song of sorrow for you? Of course they will. That's what they do. I would love to be able to talk to some of these advocates and ask them what would they have. Would they have an open border policy? Would they have everybody that's been here gets to stay here? I also love this idea that, we only believe in deporting the criminal law, those that have committed criminal offenses above and beyond the illegal nature of their status in the United States of America. Okay, so if you believe that, right, you understand a lot of these liberals are now, they've moved to the position of, they said they were just getting criminals, and they're not getting criminals. They're just getting the, average Joe Smo illegal alien. So is it your official position that every person that has come into the United States of America illegally up until now, if they have violated no other law, that they just get to stay without any consequence? Is that your position, Democrats? Really? Let's write that one with big, bold letters. Let's put that in the biggest font available and get that up on a billboard somewhere, because I don't think the United States of America is supportive of that. So your position, let me make it clear. Your position is that if you got into this country and you've not, because it's easy to them, right? They go, well, if you violated the law, then yeah, you have to go. If you've committed but now they've moved the goalpost a little further. At first it was, well, if you committed a secondary offense, if you committed a violent or an act against the law above and beyond coming in illegally, then you should be removed. Now they've moved it to violent acts. Have y'all noticed that? Very subtle change. So now it's not just if you violated the law, it's if you committed a violent criminal act, are you to be deported? Hell, before you know it, they're going to let them all stay, which was their stated policy for 4 years under Joe Biden, right? Know the full story and know that the mainstream media, they're abdicating their responsibility. They're not giving you the full story. It is 9 until the top of the hour on Super Talk.
Hey, this is Pastor Al, and join us on Super Talk 99.7, Sunday evenings from 7 to 8. We're going to look at the news from a biblical perspective.
Uh-oh. By the way, the Matt Murphy Show continues. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. A few more moments before we'll call it a Monday and head on to the hizzy. Am I allowed to say that, Jackson? Did I sound pretty cool saying it? Did I sound pretty hip?
No.
I'm heading to the hizzy. No? Okay. There have been several of you that have called out my conversation about value. Primarily, the one that took my notice was an individual that is obviously a regular listener to the show that knows it's a well-known hatred of spiders. And I'm now being told that spiders have value. I'm going to go ahead and disagree with that. Spiders are from the devil. Hey, it's time for our big-time Matt Murphy Movie Mayhem movie review. And I almost forgot about it until Jackson played music. Jackson, I'm glad you're here for a variety of reasons. That's right. Jackson Williams and Matt Murphy, we assign ourselves a project over the weekend, and we are here to give a full report. Jackson, you were assigned to the movie Office Space. What did you think, sir?
I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was funny. Had a lot of good gags. It didn't overstay its welcome. A tight 90 minutes. Really funny. I love the ending.
Oh, yeah. Milton. Stapler. Hey, excuse me. It's for my tie. He's still not getting respect.
Yeah.
Still,
and then he
still no respect.
burns the place down. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Well, they burn the entire building down. He finds those traveler's checks before he does, though, doesn't he?
And he moves to the beach. I give it a 7 out of 10.
Hey, what would happen if on the construction site somebody said you had a case of the Mondays? What? No, man. You don't say that, man. I believe you get your ass kicked. You say that, man. Hey, my movie was
The Naked Gun.
The Naked Gun. I got to tell you, Jackson, I don't know that it rose to the level of the first, but I don't think you could possibly do that. But Liam Neeson was perfect in the role as the son of Frank Drebin. I thought the concept was very funny. I thought the gags were very funny. It was very, very much in the spirit of the Naked Gun franchise, the Airplane franchise. I'm going to go ahead and give it 7 out of 9 Murphys. 7 of 9 Murphys. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It was what it said it was going to be, and we have as well. We'll be back tomorrow. Until then, I hope you have a wonderful evening. Hug your loved ones. So long, everybody.